मैं चाहूंगा वो अपने आप को म्यूट करें. And now this meeting is live on YouTube also, so remaining our waiting room peoples can join through it. Miss Madam Niti Singh from OICL is also available with us. We have 5-7 minutes so that maximum participants can be introduced and admitted. चावला साहब मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा एक टी शर्ट डाल लीजिए सर ऊपर, बिकॉज टेक अ डेकोरम सर प्लीज. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है कहते हुए, लेकिन आई एम सॉरी फॉर दैट. वी हैव टू मेक अ, बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ आवर insurance peoples are here, and that our ladies, females also available with us. So I will request each and every person to make a proper decorum. If you are not comfortable, please don't put on your video at least. मनीष वैद्या जी, यूट्यूब लिंक देखिए चैट बॉक्स में अवेलेबल है, आप शेयर कीजिए बाकी लोगों को जिनको आप शेयर कर सकते हैं. वेटिंग रूम में अवेलेबल है, चैट बॉक्स में भी डाल दीजिए. रमेश बाबू
आ गया शेयर कर देता हूँ अभी.
हाँ, बाकी शेयर कर दीजिए सर, जो मैक्सिमम लोग जुड़ सके.
So many members are waiting for YouTube link.
हाँ, आप अब डाल दीजिए उनको.
बिल्कुल सर, जस्ट शेयरिंग.
और ये इन्होंने चैट बॉक्स में भी दे दिया, रमेश बाबू ने एसएलए वर्चुअल टेक ग्रुप में भी डाल दिया. दीपक मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा बाकी जितने भी अपने राजस्थान के और अदर ग्रुप्स हैं आप जरूर डाल दें उनमें. और सभी जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हमारे ज्वाइन हो चुके हैं उनसे भी रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपने अपने एरिया के ग्रुप्स में वो डाल दें. वी स्टिल हैव सम 5 minutes मोर. सेनानी साहब नहीं दिख रहे हैं हमें. वीडियो ऑन कीजिए सेनानी सर.
कनेक्टिंग टू ऑडियो. सेनानी जी, some Madam Niti Singh has also joined from Oriental Insurance Company, RO Ahmedabad.
Yes. जो हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर से, मैं उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा इफ दे विश दे कैन इंट्रोड्यूस देमसेल्फ.
Yeah, welcome.
Good morning to all.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm Anuradha Raisinghani from Claim Up Jaipur.
Yes, ma'am.
Glad to be in the meeting. Thank you.
So nice of you, ma'am. Hope we will come out with some proper decisions and some outcome, at least positive outcome. I'm very sure about it, ma'am. Please continue with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
ML Chawla.
Yeah, Chawla sir. Very good morning.
United India Insurance, RO Jodhpur, sir.
अच्छा. Oh, sorry, चावला साहब नमस्कार. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
No, sir.
मेरी बात का बुरा नहीं मानिए, sir.
Sir, no, sir, no.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, Om Prakash Sharma, sir, please look into the waiting room and admit the whoever actually invitees. Just identify and admit, sir.
सेनानी साहब ले रहे हैं मेरे ख्याल में, वो टेक केयर. सेनानी साहब will take care. And I believe we will hold our regular participants and we will request them to put that you join through our YouTube link because of limitations, sir. I will request you and Deepak Nangal to spread this message at waiting room as well as in our group, SLA virtual tech group and All India SLA group. Please. I will request Mr. Anupar from NIC. If he can come introduce himself. Mr. Anupur.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I am Anupur Saraswat, Deputy Manager at National Insurance Jodhpur RO, and currently handling underwriting department.
Glad to see you,
welcome, sir. Welcome, very welcome, sir.
Welcome. Glad to see you guys. Very nice.
Same as.
Okay, person who is with name user please change your name. Participant with name user.
Actually, the audio is not connected, sir, right now. We should wait for some time at least.
Okay. Okay.
अच्छा शर्मा जी, ये इसका लिंक बाद में अवेलेबल होगा यूट्यूब वाला?
नहीं, YouTube पे लाइव चल रहा है सर, इट इज स्टार्टेड।
आफ्टर दैट
हाँ, हमेशा चलेगा ना सर। आप YouTube पे जाएंगे तो आप बिल्कुल सुन सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं
Sir,
उसको,
this
सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं।
entire
Record.
session will be live, and it will be available after this completion of session also. This is through our SLA virtual tech group platform.
ओके, दैट
And,
गुड।
and we will actually trim and edit this video up to the necessary timing, and we will share it also later on.
That will be better.
Yes, sir.
That
It is
will be
10:29. You are now co-host, and you can share your screen and.
अच्छा।
Yes, sir.
ओके, आई कैन
So-
शेयर।
Oh, so it is very time. I will request Mr. Love Patel to say few words about our group, sir. Mr. Love Patel.
Very good morning to everyone, sir. I'll say our because we all are participating. Our virtual tech group. Hello. A
Please
request
maintain decorum. Yeah.
request coordinator to all the participants.
Love
Please
Patel,
put the
sir,
mute.
just-
One second,
Love Patel,
sir.
Just.
One second, sir. I am muting all.
Yeah. Please do it.
Now you can unmute Lapatel, sir.
Now co-host can. unmute.
पटेल सर, एक मिनट सर, हमारे श्रीकांत जी न्यू इंडिया से जुड़ गए हैं अलीगढ़ से। श्रीकांत उपाध्याय जी सर।
We welcome all the insurers, prominent faculties, and everyone in the group, sir. Let's have the start, and we will proceed step by step with all that, sir. Our surveyors virtual tech group is having daily Zoom meeting, discussing on the various circulars, MOUs, and keeping surveyor members at par with the pace of industries. We intend to serve the fraternity and industries in proper way. Wherever the silent risk and gray areas are, we are trying to keep addressing them, how we can do, where we can improve ourselves, where we can make the awareness. Our platform is blessed with many veteran surveyors. I cannot name so many, but yes, I should not leave some of the names also, like Mr. Senani Saab, Anand Alkutkar Saab, Vidya Bhushan Bahari Saab, and all that, who are of course quite prominent, like PC Shukla Saab right now is available, and there are so many who are attending it on regular basis. This platform has given many awareness programs. It includes increased protections. Yes, many industries personnel and fraternity members are not aware of increased protections, or are not taking care of such things wherever the things can be addressed and all that. So we keep on making awareness amongst our members only, so that we can make them aware. हम कभी भी ये नहीं चाहते हैं कि उसने ये किया था इसलिए हम करें। हम ये चाहते हैं कि सर्कुलर, पेपर्स, पॉलिसी कंडीशंस, एक्ट क्या बोलता है, हम उसको फॉलो करें, हम अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करें, और जहां पर ज्ञानार्जन लेकर के हम किसी के साथ शेयर कर सके, तो यही हमारी बेसिक थीम है, और हम इसी के साथ में ही चलेंगे। हमने 2 बड़े सेशन, लास्ट 2 सक्सेसफुल सेशन वी हैड specifically with the failure of the jack. How many type of jack failures are? What is the implication of third axle or additional axles? अगर वो नहीं लगे रहते हैं तो इम्पैक्ट क्या जाता है क्लेम पर, इम्पैक्ट क्या जाता है ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम पर, इम्पैक्ट क्या जाता है चेसी सिस्टम पर। तो इस तरीके से हम लोगों ने लगातार उन चीजों को एड्रेस करने की कोशिश की है, चाहे वो स्पॉट सर्वेयर्स हो, फाइनल सर्वेयर्स हो, या री इंस्पेक्टिंग सर्वेयर्स हो। उन्हें ये ब्रीफ देने की कोशिश की कि यस, हम लोगों ने ये पाया है। हम लोग डेली ही इन सारी चीजों को डिस्कस करने की कोशिश करते हैं, मंडे टू सैटरडे डेली 1 hour, and one specialized program we are having once in a month, and we will be continuing this. Yes, we want supports of insurers, brokers, legal entity. It can be anyone. Where we are lacking, yes, we should improve, and we are always accepting all the suggestions open-heartedly. Last but not the least, आज के प्रोग्राम को शुरू करने में बिल्कुल भी देर ना हो, इसलिए मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर दूसरे व्यक्ति को बुलाने से पहले मैं चाहूंगा कि कई बार हम लोग उम्र के पड़ाव पर उस जगह पर ये कह करके हटना चाहते हैं कि अब किसके लिए करना। तो आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल सच मेंबर्स कि नहीं सर, आप हम लोग के लिए जुड़े रहें, हमें कुछ समय दें, हमें बताएं, और कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग भी जब आप इंटरेक्शन करेंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ एडिशनल इनपुट शायद दे पाने की स्थिति में रहेंगे। अब मैं श्री पीसी शुक्ला जी के इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए राठी साहब को बुलाना चाहूंगा। उससे पहले मैं 2 शब्द जरूर करना चाहूंगा कि साहब पीसी शुक्ला साहब बेबाक अंदाज और एक हर सर्वेयर अजीज हैं। हम लोग बेशक कहते हैं ये इंडस्ट्रीज के एक बहुत बड़े पिलर हैं हम लोगों के लिए। कई बार कहीं पर अटकते हैं तो एक छोटी सी उनकी सजेशंस हम लोग को नैया पार करने में मदद करती है, नो डाउट। इन्होंने कॉलेज ऑफ सर्वेयर्स के लिए भी काफी प्लानिंग करी, फाउंडेशंस किया, ठीक है, वो प्रोग्राम कहीं ना कहीं बीच में रुका रहा, बट वो हर समय हर जगह उपलब्ध रहते हैं, सभी सर्वेयर ऐसा मानते हैं। और फॉर्मल इंट्रोडक्शन के लिए मैं राठी साहब पर फॉरवर्ड करता हूं सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद लव पटेल साहब। वेलकम 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 सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का मैं तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं एसएलए वर्चुअल टेक ग्रुप की ओर से। और आज के उत्सव मूर्ति या आज के हमारे वक्ता श्री पीसी शुक्ला जी, प्रेमचंद्र जी शुक्ला जी का भी मैं तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं। श्री शुक्ला साहब के नाम से कौन परिचित नहीं है। जहां तक मैं समझता हूं कि हर सर्वेयर उनके नाम से, उनके काम से बहुत अच्छी तरह से परिचित है। फिर भी एक फॉर्मल परिचय मैं आपके सबके सामने उनका रखना चाहूंगा। श्री शुक्ला जी क्वालिफिकेशन से केमिकल इंजीनियर है। उन्होंने आईआईटी कानपुर से केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग में अपना बीटेक किया है, और वो करने के बाद में कुछ वर्षों तक वो केमिकल प्लांट्स के डिजाइन और एग्जीक्यूशन में कार्यरत रहे। उन्होंने he has worked in a various companies including Simon and Cars Limited from 1974 to 1980. From 1981, he started working as an independent surveyor in a proprietorship firm named Messrs Surveyors India from Kanpur. He is operating from Kanpur. His headquarters is Kanpur. The services offered by him are property damage survey and loss assessment, insurance audit, and property risk management. He is a fellow member of Indian Institute of Insurance Surveyor and Loss Adjusters and member of ISLA elected council. He is a prominent speaker and educator on property insurance subject. He is a core trainer on all practical aspects of survey, loss assessment, and reporting. He is an expert surveyor in throughout India, for whole of India and prominently in North on property damage claims. He is a property insurance consultant also. He is working as a category surveyor since 1981. He is a visiting faculty with National Insurance Academy Pune, ISLA, BIMTech, and New India Assurance Training Center. Generative of continuous professional development program for incumbent SLAs. He has written several articles in insurance journals and training manuals for ISLA. And he is always available for webinar, and he is presenting webinars on case studies and complex issues on ISLA learning platform since its creation post COVID-19. Sir, I welcome शुक्ला साहब। धन्यवाद सर।
शुक्ला साहब अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को। शुक्ला सर अनम्यूट कीजिए।
Yes,
एक मिनट सर। नाउ आई विल रिक्वेस्ट गुरुदेव आनंद अलकुटकर सर टू ऑफिशियली अनाउंस आवर स्टार्टिंग ऑफ जून सेशन सर। गुरुदेव आनंद अलकुटकर सर प्लीज।
Yes, I declare this open and I request now Mrs. Shukla Sahab to continue. Thank you. Sabko namaste. Yeah.
Thank you Anand sir. Now PC Shukla sir, it is
Right.
your baby.
Thank you sir. Thank you.
सर 1 मिनट लूंगा सर। आई रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स कि डेलिब्रेशन के समय कई जगह पर कोई क्वेरीज या कुछ भी हो तो चैट बॉक्स लास्ट के 15 मिनट ओपन रहेगा और हम लोग हर क्वेरीज को अटेंड करने की कोशिश करेंगे। जो चैट बॉक्स में पहले आएगी फर्स्ट कम फर्स्ट सर्विस बेसिस पे वी विल अटेंड देम फर्स्ट। फिर टाइम परमिट करेगा तो सर्टेनली हम उसको 1-to-1 लेने की भी कोशिश करेंगे। तो आई रिक्वेस्ट कि जो भी मेंबर्स से कोई भी क्वेरीज हो तो वो चैट बॉक्स में बेशक डाल दें। बाई चांस अगर हम उसको आज एड्रेस नहीं कर पाए तो वी विल ऑर्गेनाइज अनदर सेशन ऑल्सो इन कंटिन्यूएशन विद इन 2 days or 3 days to deliberate all that with the appropriate timing of late evening between 8 to 9. तो आई रिक्वेस्ट कि आप पेशेंसफुली सुने और कोई भी पॉइंट्स है तो आप बेशक चैट बॉक्स में लिखें और हम लोग उस चीज को नोट कर रहे हैं सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच। ओवर टू पीसी शुक्ला जी प्लीज।
Sir, just a second. Just I am muting all. Then co-hosts can unmute themselves whenever before closing the session. We will give the permission to the participants to unmute themselves. Sir, just I am muting all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ramesh Babu, hopefully this is going. Our recording is also going simultaneously.
Already going.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Shukla sir, please.
Yes, I'm correcting.
Shukla sir, please unmute yourself and continue, please.
Okay, I have unmuted myself and
Yeah. You are audible, sir. Continue.
you can hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Please
Yes,
continue.
Continue.
So you can see my screen also.
Yes, sir.
इसका full screen
फुल स्क्रीन के लिए सर आप इस पे जो है आपका प्रोसेस जो है ना सर बिगनिंग स्टार्ट बिगनिंग
Slide show, sir.
स्लाइड शो पे जाके स्टार्ट विद
ठीक है।
बिगनिंग लीजिए।
ठीक है ना?
नाउ इट्स
Now
परफेक्ट परफेक्ट सर परफेक्ट।
Okay. So now you can hear me everything. So guys, slightly I want to reduce this image. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much all participants and welcome today's early morning in the Sunday. And I have chosen because this time I requested the organizers to allow me to conduct this program in the early hours of the Sunday because it's a time for easy for everybody to be available with free mind with no hassle around. So I think it's the best time for such a program, such an interaction. So initially this presentation was named as spontaneous combustion, but after going through several court cases and recently I came across to one of my own case which has gone to the arbitration. And there I have, because this is for the first time I was engaged in any court exercise. Earlier I was never in my 40 years of career been to court. And rather I am one of the who is always averse to the court judgment because of two reasons. Because the courts do not understand the technicalities of the insurance as well as the counsel or the insurance persons who are presenting the case, they are not able to really present. Regarding the they are not able to present the case. But in this particular case, which I have handled just now, recently on arbitration, I myself took a lot of pain and engaged with the counsel to present the case directly with the arbitrator. And there, most of them are the ex-judge and retired judge. And with all due respect to their profession,
Shukla sir, your voice audio is little bit.
so now you can hear me well?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
Okay. So interconnection is also available. Okay. Okay. So in case of any problem, just tell me because sometimes I'm not aware whether you are able to hear me or not. So just give me a click like this.
Sure.
So anyway, so with this experience I am sharing. So I've changed the name of my topic. Why courts aid in interpreting the spontaneous combustion? So that is the theme of this presentation today. and it will be a little bit more a chemical engineering, because until unless will not understand the chronology of a spontaneous combustion and relate it with the fire terms and conditions, relate with the principle of insurance, we are not able to understand the real crux of the problem. It is very simple. I mean, many times in talk to my senior surveyors like Senani and all, they say it's very dicey issue. I say it's not dicey. The dicey is in our mind. It's a very simple. It's very simple. You understand, if you are able to understand the principle of insurance, the premise of the insurance, then there will be no confusion. I think the court failed to understand that. Right. So with this, I'll start my presentation. You see the standard fire cover. If you see the standard fire cover, this is the on the first page. This is a preamble of the policy. If you see, the company promised to pay you destroyed damage by any peril specified here under during the policy. Now, if you divide in two, like this is one in the recital cost, and this is one of the operative costs. So I have just divided into two. One is the area that where it says the property insured described in the share schedule or any part of such property to be destroyed or damaged by any of the perils specified here under the policy. So if the property is destroyed, the insured property is destroyed by any peril during the period of insurance, then the claim is payable. Now in the operative clause it said the company shall pay to the insured the value of the property at the time of happening of a destruction or amount of such damage, or its option reinstate or replace such property by any part thereof. So peril and value, they're two things. Just I want to put one more point here, which is not really related to such, but it's general, it's a general discussion. Why the underwriter have chosen the word value here? Why they have not chosen the word market value? Why they have not chosen the purchase value? Why they have not chosen the purchase cost? Normally, all of us, underwriters, surveyor across the board, whenever they talk of indemnity, they talk of market value, they talk of this value, they talk of that value, right? There are two things I wanted before you start my real presentation. They are misquoted. One is value and another is peril. That's why I have really identified. Why? Because value in insurance is very dynamic, because the liability is dynamic. You cannot frame in one definition this value. And if you want to give me a simple example of the value, I'm wearing this t-shirt. I bought it just a month back for 3,000 rupees. It is insured under a householder policy and it burns during the course of fire in my house. It was just 1 month old. So in terms of the value, market value, what will be its market value? I mean, anybody can say, yes, market value is 1,000 rupees maximum. That's it, cost. But I bought it just 1 month back for 3,000 rupees, and you have insured it for 3,000 rupees, right? So where what the value means for insurance, had it been market value, had been the purchase value, why they have not mentioned these words in the policy? For simple reason, they have not mentioned these words in the policy, because let's see what is this value is. The meaning of value, the real intrinsic value excluding any sentimental value, prospective profit or other consequential indirect losses are excluded. The value at the time and place of loss. This is important. The value at the time and place of loss. Value in use or value in insured, that's the indemnity. That is where he was really, the policy says. Because you are insuring the property of insured. You are not insuring some value for the market, that I will provide you this value. That may be a basis, that may be paradigm, but your intention Your contention should always be the value to insure. Value in exchange or market value. And if I want to explain it in simple graphical expression, it will like this. With the ultimate goal, you see purchase value, market value, replacement value is value to insure. Ultimately, whenever we look to the value, we should look what is value to insure. That should be our ultimate goal. So this is the value. And when I take up the peril, there are a number of perils that will not discuss. Sponge combustion is exclusion, why sponge combustion and all that. So we will now back to the lecture, the standard fire cover we have discussed. Now back to the second, peril and their causes covered and excluded. Now we are discussing spontaneous combustion. And many cases, what is the argument of the court? The court make an argument, that's a very important point for all of you to discuss. In any case, what insured said when you deny a claim under spontaneous combustion policy, or you say, suppose some spontaneous combustion has taken place. He is covered for the spontaneous combustion, but still you deny a case that I will allow this much, I will not allow this much. So he say, boss, I paid premium for spontaneous combustion. Why you are not giving me the claim for spontaneous combustion? Right? So the company says there was no fire. So the moment the company says there was no fire, now what is the court argument? Court says that the fire you have already insured in the policy. And if you have already insured the fire, whatever cause it has occurred, why don't you pay the claim? But the company says will not pay the claim for the pre-ignition losses, for the losses which has occurred prior to actual fire. And there comes a debate, there comes a problem. So that's why I wanted to make clear for the all surveyors also to explain, and all underwriters also who are watching this program. In fact, spontaneous combustion is not a peril. It is a cause. What peril is covered is fire. So what this means, that fire is covered in this policy, but if it occurred because of any of these causes, the claim is not there. It's own fermentation, natural heating, or spontaneous combustion, or it's undergoing heating and drying process, B, burning of property insured by order of any public authority. So it means that we cover fire by any other means, but if the fire occurred by any of these causes, it is not covered. The problem is, in most of the cases, what insured understand, he covered spontaneous combustion, then he's covered everything. That's a very wrong message and very wrong signal is going. We are covering spontaneous combustion as a cause by additional premium. Right? It is not a blanket cover. It is only a cover for cause. If we take the policy, but there too, losses to be fire only will be covered. This is how we are going to discuss further. Now, spontaneous combustion as an exclusion. Fire due to spontaneous combustion is excluded in the standard fire peril policy. Now, why it is excluded? What is the relevance of this exclusion? Right? So we'll have to further understand that what spontaneous combustion stands for and why it is excluded from the standard policy as a cause. As a cause, not as a peril, remember, yet available as an add-on cover at the cost with extra premium. What is spontaneous combustion? Let's start with this. Now, it has been observed that there are some commodities tend to catch fire on their own during storage. Such commodities are mainly hay, coal, oil, dew cake, pistachio nuts, cotton, linen, soap, and polyunsaturated vegetable oil, etc. The fermentation, oxidation, heating in such commodities are always ongoing during storage. That is the inherent property. They are vegetables. They have inherent property. They have carbon. They have things. They have because there are some things undergoing oxidation reduction reactions undergoing in a normal process, which results into heat. So they are always under the process of heat. These commodities catch fire on its own due to its inherent property in a storage condition. So sometime when these conditions overtake the storage condition, whatever the precautions are given, that you have to stagger these heaps, you have to make a proper distance, you have to make ventilations. So there are storage practices, different storage practices for the commodity which are prone to spontaneous combustion. When they are not observed due to the lack of space, due to the lack of anything, there is very likely they may caught fire on their own. So the question is that now the point comes then, why insurance company at the outset says that will not cover this, and we cover it, we have to pay additional premium. This is one question. So before attending this question, I want to share a few case studies, then I'll attend the last question. There are A, B, C, D, E. I'll discuss the chemistry behind spontaneous combustion in haystack, spontaneous combustion is coal, spontaneous combustion in dual cake, spontaneous combustion in molasses, spontaneous combustion in sponge iron. They are very interesting case studies, and yesterday while making this presentation, I came across to a paper published by a scientist lady in America. She made a 60-page paper study on spontaneous combustion in coal. Excellent study. That how it occurs. Until unless as a surveyor, you can ask, you can say, that is a general tendency, that why we should know Shukla ji chemistry about it. Whether you should know it is spontaneous combustion, ho gaya na, we'll pay the claim. Why we should know about it? So that makes a difference between a surveyor, engineer, an underwriter, and a non-technical person. I mean, if your focus is only on the outcome, spontaneous combustion ho gaya, hame kitna claim dena hai, discuss karna hai, until you are not know that why this spontaneous, because as a surveyor, it is also your duty to suggest for future loss minimization measure. This is one of the condition in our regulation. This is in our code of conduct. So until you does not know that what are the causes which inhibits these reactions, which ultimately result into spontaneous combustion, how will you know? How will you express and do the job in making a suggestion of this loss minimization? Ultimately, you see, we are in the phase where the public sector companies are also going for loss minimization after. So we lack that spirit, and what we are doing, I'm not hitting anybody, any insurance company or anybody. They should not take any personal comment, but it's just for learning. I am saying, instead of hitting the real things, they are hitting cost. कि कॉस्ट कम करो. कॉस्ट में क्या हो गया? अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की कॉस्ट, सर्वे की कॉस्ट. So now the efforts are made in the insurance companies, both private and public sector, to minimize the cost. That is a valid question. There is no problem in that. But they add at the same time, boss, what you are insuring, at what price? Please look into the market. That you forgot in the wake of market competition. Ultimately, you have to come to that point. कभी न कभी तो आपको यहाँ आना पड़ेगा. You have to come. All underwriters who are watching this presentation, I am saying, boss, you have to come here. अभी आप इधर उधर की बात कर लें, हमारी फीस कम कर लें, अपने खर्चे कम कर लें, आप ये कर लें, आप उस इसको रिफ्यूज कर लें, इस इसको रिफ्यूज कर लें. They are all easy choice. They are choice on the table. There are no efforts. Ultimately, you have to come to the risk analysis. Ultimately, you have to come to the fire load. Ultimately, you have to come all these basic principles of underwriting. जिससे यहाँ ये शुरू हुए underwriting, which you have forgot in the market competition. So, with this, first I'll discuss about the spontaneous combustion is haystack. So this is the spontaneous combustion is hay stack. This is one of the hay is stored, and there is a tendency to caught fire on stone. The characteristic of it is that it has a very low ignition temperature, is a high moisture content retaining 20 to 25%. Process of combustion, initially fermentation occurred due to plant cell and microbes. Fermentation raises the temperature. The oxidation results in more temperature and heat and buildup. At around 200 degrees, it starts charring and releases moisture. Due to further oxidation of char, it catches fire. So this is the chronology. Now here, as a chemical engineer, I want to pay one my point. Wherever you hear, you will hear one thing: moisture. Moisture is a contributor in all things. Why moisture is a contributor? Why moisture is a contributor? For simple, if you remember, there is one thing called latent heat of vaporization, right? What is this latent heat of vaporization? At suppose you cool water to 0 degrees centigrade, right? It is in liquid form, 0 degrees centigrade. Now you cool it further. It will remain to 0 degrees centigrade, but it will change its shape. It will become ice. So there is no change in temperature, but there is change in phase. It means that whatever energy you have given to this has not contributed to rise in temperature, but is change in phase. Means the molecular distance between these small particles will reduce. So that is a hidden energy. Now once this this will melt, it will release that energy, which has absorbed from converting to 0 degree water to 0 degree base. Similar thing is about the heat, steam. 100 degree water will convert into 100 degree steam, will take energy. So there is no change in temperature. But what has happened, some heat will be released. That is called latent heat. So what happened when any product which has a high moisture content, it is in the process of releasing vapor, containing vapor, depending on this, it is always in the process. So there is always a continuous process of releasing energy, releasing heat. This way, any product which has moisture content, maybe oil cakes, maybe hay, maybe anything, will one of the inhibitor of creating fire and heat. Now, spontaneous combustion of coal, where I've discussed one a very beautiful study I have taken. I want to discuss with some point. It's a little bit technical, but I'll try to absorb yourself, involve yourself, because try to make it simple so you can understand this fully well. Now you see, okay. Coal has been formed as a result of chemical and physical reactions over millennia. Although coal is stable underground, the exposure of coal to air during mine, even within the mine, the coal is stable. But once it comes to once you mine it and take out on the road, take out on the land, so there are chances of self-heating, spontaneous combustion for reasons. So the coal has property to spontaneous combustion. This is, you can see the picture. It is a solid fuel. It cannot vaporize on heating, so it doesn't burn with flame. This is one point to be noted, because there are two kinds of fires. One is where some volatile means where the solid phase can convert into vapor, like petrol. Petrol is why combustible, because the liquid has a very high tendency to convert into vapor. Little high temperature of this, it immediately converts into vapor. So more vaporization means more chances of fire. Less vaporization means low vaporization. And you see flame, wherever you see flame, they are basically vaporization of liquid state to the gaseous state, which you see burning. But coal has no component of no component in that form. So it is slightly different from other things. Now, this is a very wonderful case study about the process of combustion about coal, which I came across yesterday only. So little bit technical, but I think I'll try to explain your simple term. The movement of oxygen and air over the surface of pile. This is a coal pile. This one is a coal pile, right? So what happened that it contained carbon on the surface. It is carbon basically, right? And there's a movement of oxygen and air over the surface of pile causes oxidation and heats up the coal. So the carbon has a tendency to react with oxygen. And the reaction of carbon with oxygen is basically generating heat. And if you ask me simply, what is fire? What is fire? The fire is nothing but burning up carbon in the presence of oxygen is exothermic reaction. That is a fire. Simple. C plus O2 is equal to CO plus CO2. So here there is no burning, but there is a heating because this is carbon, high content of carbon, and this is oxygen. So there is a natural tendency to heat up this. So the top layer is little bit heated up. So now when this layer is heated, the energy of heat will go both way, outside and inside, both way, outside, inside, outside, inside. So you see, this is a outer area, which is a low temperature zone, and this is an inner area which has low oxygen but high concentration. It has low oxygen but high concentration. Here oxygen are more and this thing. So there is a process of heating and radiation भी होता है, इधर से उसका हीट का भी होता है. धीरे धीरे क्या होता है कि ये जो थिकनेस है, ये जो हीट ट्रांसफर की, ये बढ़ती जाती है. इट मींस ये जो लेयर पतली थी, जो अभी जो ऊपर जो इस रिएक्शन में पार्टिसिपेट कर रही थी, वो धीरे धीरे इट गोज ऑन, its thickness rises because the heat transfer inside is more as compared to heat transfer is outside, right? But here it is cool. Here it is cool. This is a cool area because this is inside. And as you know, the heat has a tendency to go for lower temperature, right? So you see that because of the heat tendency to go for lower temperature, whatever heat is generated here is tend to go more here inside than to go outside. In very simple terms. It is cooler because it is inside, it is outer because it is ambient temperature, and some process of oxidation and heating is done. So heat is generated. So heat has more tendency to see. That's why you see more arrow here inside than less arrows. Then further is go on increasing the size, further hot spot, ultimately hot spot is formed. And this is called the hot spot. And ultimately here find this way, jack to inside because it attracts water. It needs more oxygen. It needs more oxygen, and as a result of which it becomes a very hot spot. And you see flame because it breaks after some time through this air break because there is this air make a passage inside this. This passage glow, grow out, burn out, and ultimately you see hot sludge, hot coal, hot thing coming out of this automatically. आप जरा सा हटाएंगे, you will find burning inside. So this is the final state. This is a little bit high chemistry, I can understand, but I did just give you an idea, because how it has occurred. Now, what are the factors affecting the tendency of auto ignition, the coal? Moisture content, moisture in coal can play a role in sponge combustion, as I already told you, because of its heat of relative vaporization. Particle size, finely grounded coal or coal dust has a larger surface area, making it more susceptible to oxidation. A small particle can heat up more quickly. So for the surveyor, for the underwriter, it is to understand that the powdered coal or small area coal is more prone to sponge combustion as compared to the large size coal or bigger size coal. Now, pressure and compression. In tightly compacted coal heaps, where the tightly pressed coal heap, air circulation can be restricted, leading to the localized hot spot where oxidation and buildup occur more rapidly. This is point number 3. Then pyrite content, that is iron sulfide content. Now, in some coals, not in all coal, they contain pyrite that depend on the mining, which can react with oxygen and water to produce heat and sulfuric acid, this sulfide. The acid can further accelerate the oxidation. This is number 4. Then time. Spontaneous combustion can occur over extended period, often weeks or months. It may start slowly and build up gradually. This is the thing. It may start slowly. It is not one day event. It is slow event, slowly and gradually. Now, spontaneous combustion is dual cake. Now, dual cake, we have heard a lot about in the dual cake in peg in bags or in heaps or in stacks, right? Normally, it is either in the stack during storage or in the bags in the form it is being sold outside or in process. So let us see what is dual cake is. Let us understand what is dual cake for the underwriters before I start it. Any vegetable product has oil content inside. So what is being done? That say soybean, say for soybean. Now what is as a process done? It is being crushed, right? It is being crushed. Then in a solvent extraction plant, that crushed material is being counter currently. There is a flow of solvent. So solvent, what solvent does? It whatever during crushing, it liberate whatever oil contents are there. And when you flow counter currently means the material is coming down and the solvent is going up. So it will carry these liquid that is the oil content with the solvent. So oil content will go with the solvent and it will come back. Then in distillation column, where it is being further heated, there is separation will take place. The oil will be separated from the solvent, and that solvent is further recycled is back and back and back and back. So that is a continuous. There is a batch type also, and there is a continuous production also. That they are basically solvent extraction plant. So whatever oil we are eating today, now whatever, it is mainly through solvent extraction plant. Majority of the oil is solvent extraction plant. And now whatever is left is the cake.
शुक्ला सर, सर आप चाहें तो वाटर ब्रेक ले सकते हैं, पानी ले सकते हैं. जब तक सेनानी साहब ने हैंड रेज किया है तो वो 2 मिनट सेलिब्रेट कर लेंगे. आप पानी ले सकते हैं सर.
अच्छा सर, he is going somewhere.
No. आप पानी का ब्रेक ले, आप पानी का ग्लास ले लें सर. इट्स ऑलरेडी
पानी मेरे बगल में रखा है.
सेनानी सर प्लीज.
हाँ, पानी है, आ जाए.
Sir, if you want to continue, you may please, sir.
I see. Okay. So counter currently it takes oil and it is being in the solvent extraction plant that is removed, and oil and they are separated. This cake has fibers with less oil because majority of the oil is taken out. It has fibrous. It's basically agriculture release of this thing. So it contains fibers. This fiber contains carbon and other content also, and some part of hexane also left, because 100% solvent extraction, 100% hexane is not removed. So that is a fuel. Now you make this whatever is left over is being made in the form of pellet, which is used as a cattle feed, which is used as a fish feed, which is used for different as a source of protein, because some protein is left in there. So mainly it is food, and body whatever this we take is what we call soybean. This soybean small what do we call
Chunks, soya chunks.
Soya chunks. See, so soya chunks are nothing. The residual of that zero oil content of the residual, that is being converted into the soya chunk, which you use in different form. सब्जी भी डालते हैं हम लोग और different form is used. It contains protein. Though it is being projected as a very कि बहुत ही अच्छी चीज है, it's very good for health and also absolutely it's not so much, though it has contained the ruchi soya, this product are. So these are the output of that. So these cakes have a tendency for this spontaneous combustion tendency, and we came across to many fire where oil cake has caught fire. Now, what the reason? The fermentation process start due to microbes releasing heat, which is unable to escape. This is stages, there are different stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Once you store this soya chunk or cattle feed, so what is it? During storage, the first process occurred, fermentation, which is due to microbes inside. There are microbes because this is a biological thing, so it is a microbe inside. Releasing the heat, if unable to escape, causes rising temperature. This is the step 1. This results in the vaporization of hexane and discoloration of the oil cake. As I told you, some hexane is always left. So once it gets hot, so it liberates hexane, is vaporized, and the color of the oil cake will change. When the temperature rises further, the oxidized oil fat, now the fat, whatever fat is remaining, small fat remaining, to relieve hydrogen and oxygen, because oxidation of the fat will occur, which will relieve hydrogen and oxygen, as free fatty acids have a strong tendency to undergo auto-oxidation with oxygen. Whatever free fatty acid there, they go to it, which results in considerable evolution of it. The result in charring of the oil cake. So this is the stage number C. So whenever you see bags, you open a lot of spontaneous combustion claim clumps, where insured claims that these are the bags damaged due to spontaneous combustion. Bags are high density polyethylene bags. Bags are apparently okay, but you cut them, these bags, you find the material is black, charred, lumped, all that you will find. Now here creates the problem for insurance company to convince the client that boss, up to this stage, this is not a loss due to spontaneous combustion admissible under the part. This is the point of debate. This is the point of a crux, because insured things, once he has insured spontaneous combustion as a peril, all these things have already covered, though it is not. What is covered is fire, and spontaneous combustion is only cause. So let's discuss this further. So anyway, char absorbs oxygen, it adds to the heat built up, sustain the rise in temperature, which in turn further promotes rate of oxidation chain of reaction. If this heat is not dissipated, it catches fire. That is a normal phenomena, it takes place. Now, what are the factors affecting the tendency of auto-ignition in dual cake? From the loss minimization point of view, which you can suggest to the insured or insurance company should know about this. The residual oil content are very important. The oil content in the are little high, so because they are ultimately break, as I already discussed earlier, to produce heat. Then moisture content, that I already discussed, they didn't have vaporization. So higher moisture content, higher residual oil content, higher hexane content are prone when the material is more prone to spontaneous combustion. Then temperatures. Elevated temperatures can accelerate the oxidation. The beauty of oxidation means oxidation process or exothermic process. Oxidation means the carbon reacting with the oxygen form carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. So this is the oxidation process, and any oxidation process is create heat. They are called exothermic. कहीं भी oxidation हो रहा होगा, आपने chemistry में oxidation तो पढ़ा होगा, कहीं भी ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा होगा तो वहां इसका मतलब अगर ऑक्सीजन हो रहा है तो वहां हीट जनरेट हो रही है, ठीक है। तो वो कंडीशंस जो ऑक्सीडेशन क्रिएट करती हैं और हीट जनरेट करती है, हमको वो देखनी है कि किसमें ज्यादा है किसमें कम है, अकॉर्डिंगली हमें स्टोर करना है, ये सब करना है. So during storage, the oil cake can heat up due to the exothermic oxidation reaction taking place. This in turn can further promote. अच्छा, ऑक्सीडेशन रिएक्शन की एक ब्यूटी क्या है कि जितना टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा उतने उसका रेट बढ़ेगा. मतलब जितना जितना टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा, अगर मान लीजिए 100 डिग्री पे एक ऑक्सीडेशन का रेट मान लीजिए कोई ए था, अगर वो ज्यादा टेम्परेचर हो गया 110 डिग्री हो गया तो वो रेट ए की जगह A+20 हो जाएगा. अगर और ज्यादा होगा तो A+40 हो जाएगा. सो हायर द रेट ऑफ ऑक्सीडेशन हायर द रेट. तो फिर वो चीजें बहुत जल्दी से शुरू हो जाती. एक बार ये प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हो गया, पिकअप हो गया और ये रिएक्शन बढ़ने लगा, then there will be automatically build up of the airflow. This is airflow is very important. That's why we are suggesting the insured to properly stack it, give airflow. और इसके स्टैंडर्ड ISI स्टोरेज डिजाइन है कि आपको इन प्रोडक्ट को कैसे स्टोर करना है. देयर आर स्टैंडर्ड्स. अगर आप जाएंगे साइट एड पे तो आपको मिलेंगे स्टैंडर्ड, लेकिन वो स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो नहीं होते बिकॉज ऑफ द लैक ऑफ स्पेस. And why there is a lack of space, I wanted to share something to all underwriters who are seeing this claim, because these are seasonal products. These are seasonal because anything related to agriculture is seasonal. तो करते क्या है कि उनको जिससे प्रोडक्ट मिलता है तो उसका तेल निकालना, उसका फिर वो बनाना, केक बनाना, वो एक सीजन है. आपको अक्टूबर तक माल आया, अक्टूबर तक आपको सारा काम कर लेना है, तो यू हैव टू स्टोर मोर. From October onwards, that product is no more available, but you have to make supply. You have to continuously supply the material. So you need a huge storage, huge storage. So wherever you have to take these facilities, you need a huge storage because of the seasonal product. So that is also another reason. This. Whoa, what happened?
Screen share
ओके हो गया स्क्रीन शेयर हो गया ना?
अभी नहीं हुआ सर.
Not yet.
अभी नहीं हुआ. ओके, स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हुआ अभी?
नहीं सर.
नहीं सर. ओके, जब तक शुक्ला साहब कंटिन्यू करें, लव पटेल सर, यू कैन टेक अ मिनट.
नहीं, हो गया सर.
हो गया
जी, हो गया सर. आपको उस पेज पे आना होगा. अभी इनिशियल पे है सर, फर्स्ट पेज पे.
साइड स्लो क्लिक कीजिए सर.
है साइड से पे करें. या
स्लाइड स्लो क्लिक, स्लाइड शो क्लिक कीजिए सर.
स्लाइड शो नहीं, आपको दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा है स्क्रीन?
नहीं सर, केवल आपका फ्रंट पेज है.
फर्स्ट पेज है, वाई कोड.
फर्स्ट स्लाइड है सर ये. आप स्लाइड शो पे आके स्टार्ट फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग करके फिर जाइए वहां तक सर.
अच्छा, ओके. You are not seeing?
Not yet.
No sir, it is still on the first page sir.
Okay. Slide show. You are seeing now?
Not yet sir, not yet. आप इसे आ जाइए, ऊपर फर्स्ट लाइन है ना सर, इस पे स्लाइड शो लिखा हुआ लास्ट 3 में से थर्ड व्यू रिव्यू, उससे पहले स्लाइड शो. नहीं, यहाँ से मत लीजिए सर. ओ हाँ, ऊपर आइए से, जहाँ पे ये 3 लाइन लिखा हुआ है ना सर, होम, इंसर्ट, डिजाइन, इसके ऊपर स्लाइड शो आ रहा है ऊपर इस लाइन में.
स्लाइड शो
सर आप इसको, इससे बाहर आइए, इससे. हाँ,
या बोलिए.
ये जहाँ पे अभी आपका जो कर्सर है ना सर, और
यहाँ
यहाँ किसी ने गोला बनाया है आपके हेल्प के लिए, वहां डबल क्लिक कीजिए सर, ये स्लाइड शो पे.
स्लाइड शो में दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा है कहाँ है इधर.
आप फर्स्ट लाइन लीजिए ना सर, ऊपर ऊपर जो होम जहाँ लिखा हुआ अपना.
एक्चुअली सर आपके सिस्टम में स्लाइड स्लो ओपन हो गया होगा. यू जस्ट स्टॉप शेयरिंग एंड रीशेयर द
Okay.
अच्छा, स्टॉप शेयर. अच्छा,
स्टॉप द शेयरिंग. नाउ शेयर.
Thank you, Deepak.
Then
And
share. Then share screen.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No,
Reshare.
Share screen already shared. Yeah, this one.
we are
No,
not
no.
looking. It is not coming to us.
You have to reshare the same PPT, sir.
अच्छा अच्छा, okay.
Okay, mean in between, Deepak, how that peoples are coming from that YouTube is in line with?
Yes, sir. It's working fine, and around 26 are watching live.
So you are can see now.
Sir, it
Yes,
is
sir.
again
Yes,
first
sir.
page, sir.
Huh?
It is again first page, sir.
Now-
Why quoted?
हाँ, फर्स्ट पेज आ गया है. ठीक है. Okay.
हाँ, 3.1. What is spontaneous combustion?
अब दिखाई
लेकिन
पड़
ये
रहा है आपको?
हाँ,
Yes, sir.
दिखाई पड़ रहा है, लेकिन ये फुल स्क्रीन में नहीं है सर.
फुल स्क्रीन में नहीं है अभी आपको.
Slide show from current slide. You have to opt it.
एक सेकेंड.
Hello, Patel sir and Serani sir. Yes, it is okay, sir. You can continue, sir.
Okay. So अब आपको दिखाई पड़ रहा है?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. It is visible,
But
not in the full screen, but it doesn't matter. You may proceed, sir.
बट
It
हमें
is
तो
free-
पूरे स्क्रीन में दिखाई पड़ रहा है.
आपको दिखाई दे रहा है.
हाँ, ओके. बट विजुअल ना. चलिए.
Yes. Please continue.
So we are taking up the molasses. Sponge combustion is molasses.
D.
D. Sponge combustion in molasses occurs due to its combination of
सर
factors.
उस पर क्लिक कर रहे हैं सर एक बार. डी
किस
वाले
पे?
पर.
किस
डी
पे?
वाले पर क्लिक करें सर.
E.
D.
डी का पेज ओपन नहीं हुआ सर, सिर्फ लाइन दिख रही है सर.
D को डबल क्लिक कीजिए ना सर. Spontaneous combustion in molasses.
अच्छा, ओके. एक सेकंड. डी को डबल क्लिक करें. एक्चुअली मेरा स्क्रीन तो पूरा खुला हुआ है.
no,
Sir.
actually it is not. It has to be go on slide show.
बैट.
On
ओके.
slide show only. Otherwise it will not appear for the.
अच्छा, आप बताइए कहाँ पे. आप बताइए where are
So
this?
please opt this slide show, sir. From current slide.
Current slide.
ये सर आपको ये लाइन दिख रही है ग्रीन सा.
Let one person guide, sir.
हाँ.
एक मिनट, एक रमेश बाबू बोल रहे हैं. Let him guide, sir.
Vipul Gosalia ji, एक line. He has drawn a line.
हाँ.
Slide show. You opt.
स्लाइड शो उधर मुझे नहीं दिखाई पड़ रहा है. मेरे स्क्रीन पे स्लाइड शो नहीं आ रहा है. एक मिनट.
Your screen only, sir. No. You close this one. What is the window opened? That close it and
This one.
Sir, actually, you can try with the shift plus control and then F5. It will slide show from current screen.
Shift plus control.
Plus F5.
F5.
Yes, sir.
एक सेकेंड.
No, still, sir, we are on the same page.
Still the same page. Okay. दोबारा से करते हैं. फिर एक बार दोबारा से करते हैं.
अभी हेज टेक पर आ गए हैं सर.
Sir, you stop sharing, close it, and again reopen, sir. Then it will be open.
That is the thing. I should stop sharing, then reopen. Yeah.
Then again start the screen sharing and after the shift the control and F5.
You can see anything now?
No, sir. No, screen not yet shared.
The screen is not shared as yet. Okay. तो Zoom पे आना पड़ेगा दोबारा में. I can see you. anybody can change of my screen? मेरा वो desk share कर लीजिए ना.
Any
Desk share
desk
कर
से
लीजिए.
Okay.
any रमेश बाबू
Okay, 1 minute.
एनी डेस्क
Any-
पे आप ले लीजिए सब.
हाँ, any desk पे ले.
एक बार शुक्ला सर एक बार रीशेयर करके शिफ्ट प्लस F5 ट्राई कीजिए. एक बार रीशेयर कीजिए स्क्रीन.
Deepak, do you have any desk?
Yes, I have any desk. Yeah.
No,
I open. Tell you the number.
No, sir. My system is actually recording the Zoom, so it is not.
Deepak, can you take care?
I cannot minimize this.
Deepak,
Let me check, sir.
Do you have, if you are having any desk, you can take the control of PC.
Yes, I have desk. I have desk share.
Shukla sir, please open that PPT
Yeah, open.
and share it now.
Welcome to any desk.
No. That PPT you just share on the Zoom.
अच्छा.
जैसे आप पहले कर रहे थे वैसे Zoom पे शेयर कीजिए सर.
Share screen share.
Actually, Zoom जो है, I think I am out of Zoom now. आ तो रहा है लेकिन ये खुल नहीं रहा. I'm not able to open it. Zoom.
स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा आपसे?
ये हो गया. Screen share.
ये ग्रीन वाली ग्रीन एरो.
एक सेकेंड. स्टार्ट. इसका दोबारा मुझे स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. एक मिनट.
Sir, otherwise you can share this in core team.
एक मिनट.
Yes sir, please share your AnyDesk ID sir.
दीपक शायद शुक्ला साहब लॉग आउट हो गए हैं जूम से. शायद आप एक बार उनसे पर्सनली फोन पे बात कर लो. तब तक में हम लोग अपने टॉपिक्स पर लेते हैं. और अभी तक हम लोग के पास में 2 चैट मैसेजेस आ चुके थे. महेश शर्मा जी ने एक चैट मैसेज रखा है कि व्हाट परसेंटेज ऑफ टोटल क्वांटिटी ऑफ हीप टू बी डिलीटेड एंड व्हाट वाज इन स्पॉन्टेनियस कंबशन प्रोसेस. उन्होंने सर्वेयर के एंगल से एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था. नितिन जोशी साहब के 2 पॉइंट्स आ चुके थे कि अगर कोई वारंटी फुलफिल इंश्योर नहीं कर पाता है तो सर्वे रिपोर्ट्स में रिमार्क्स और क्लेम पर उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा. तीसरी क्वेरी भी उन्होंने ही दी थी कि प्रीवियस इंस्पेक्शन इज हाउ मच इम्पोर्टेंट और what should be special remarks in inspection report in such a commodities जहाँ पर कि इस तरीके की चीजें आती हैं. तो we shall be addressing this. Meanwhile, after the presentation of PC शुक्ला साहब, हम लोग पहले इंश्योरर्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को लेंगे. जो भी इंश्योरर्स या अदर देन सर्वेयर ब्रदर्स बोलना चाहते हैं तो वो अपने पॉइंट रेज कर लेंगे. And then after, once their call is over, then we will have the surveyor's query. Yes, Rajesh Gupta ji, please.
सर मैं चाहूंगा इस अपॉर्चुनिटी में अपना सेनानी साहब के साथ में कुछ कमेंट्स इनको कुछ अपना इनपुट डाल देंगे इसमें जब तक कोई कुछ हुआ है. एनी पॉइंट्स यू वांट टू शेयर ऑन व्हाट हैज बीन प्रेजेंटेड नाउ?
जी सेनानी सर. सेनानी सर.
Sir, Love Patel sir, PC Shukla sir is joining by 2 minutes. Just please take.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
सेनानी सर, जब तक पीसी शुक्ला साहब ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, आप कुछ पॉइंट्स या बीच में आपने हैंड रेज किया था तो इसलिए.
नहीं, मैं मिस कर गया वो पॉइंट ही मिस कर
कोई
गया.
बात नहीं सर, पॉइंट मिस कर कोई बात नहीं. यू टेक केयर ऑफ 2 minutes at least.
Shukla sir joined sir.
मुझे लग रहा है कि सभी लोग जो है डेलिब्रेशंस को एंजॉय कर रहे होंगे, है ना. और शायद आपने फॉर्मली डिक्लेयर कर दिया हो या न किया हो, आज के सेशन के बाद एक ओपन हाउस होगा ऑन सम वर्किंग डे आफ्टर गेटिंग परमिशन फ्रॉम शुक्ला जी. हम करीब 1 घंटे का ओपन हाउस का सेशन भी रखेंगे इसी टॉपिक को लेकर के. थैंक यू.
Okay. Love Patel sir, please continue.
Shukla sir is there.
हाँ, शुक्ला साहब को आने दीजिए, तब तक इसको?
आया सर ऑलरेडी।
हाँ नहीं मालूम, मैंने एडमिट किया है, लेकिन आप जब तक इसको लाइव रखिए प्लेटफॉर्म को, दैट इज माय रिक्वेस्ट।
How to comment on flash point raised by Utpal Sharma ji? Yes, we have noted it, sir.
Yeah.
And
Okay. आप नोट कर लीजिए।
ये मैंने नोट कर लिया।
We'll discuss it afterwards. So you can see now.
It is
No
your
sir, आपके
folder only, sir.
folders दिख रहे हैं सर, स्क्रीन पीपीटी नहीं आई है सर।
PPT नहीं आई? अच्छा।
सर आप इसको, शुक्ला सर,
हाँ।
आप इसको वापस बंद कीजिए स्क्रीन शेयरिंग को, पहले पीपीटी ओपन कर लीजिए, फिर स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए।
एक सेकेंड। इसको हेलो
कोई
हेलो यार, ये उनका स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा है। ओ उनका जरा मिलाओ, एक सेकेंड। वो कह रहे हैं आपका स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा, मतलब स्क्रीन नहीं शेयर हो रहा है, मतलब हमको दिखाई पड़ रहा है, उनको दिखाई पड़ रहा है। तुम जब कनेक्ट करो। हाँ एक्सेप्ट करो।
शुक्ला सर, am I audible?
You are audible, Om Prakash sir.
नहीं शुक्ला साहब की बात क्या, मैं इनसे रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, अगर वो पीपीटी शेयर कर दिए तो मैं कर दूंगा उसको अपलोड फटाफट।
मैं करो 2 मिनट में हो रहा है, 2 मिनट। अब आपको दिखाई पड़ रहा है?
यस सर, यस सर, यस सर।
हेलो
हाँ
पूरा स्क्रीन दिखाई पड़ रहा है?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी,
ओके दिखाई पड़ रहा है ना?
हाँ जी।
तुम कनेक्टेड रहना अभी, ठीक है? ओके। So sorry for this disruption for 10-15 minutes, and I'm not a computer savvy. So you can hear me and see the total slides?
Yes sir.
Okay, that's it. Okay, ठीक है। So I was in the molasses. Molasses is a very fine case study.
Yes,
Response combustion in molasses occurs due to a combination of factors, including the fermentation of sugar by microbes. Here is a biological degradation. There you see different reason. One is fermentation, another is latent heat of vaporization, then phase change, then oxidation reaction. So this has a different thing with different. Well, ultimately, it occurs because of the heat generated within the product, right? So it is because of that this occurs. But it occurs with different reason with different product. So the key fact about this response combustion in molasses is that it does not burn with flame, because molasses contain a lot of water, right? So whatever heat is generated, before it convert into the flame, it is quenched with the water, because it is the water content is very high. So the key factor about combustion molasses is that it does not burn with flame. Due to presence of excessive water, the water quenches the flame as soon as it can turn up. Thus, the sponge combustion of molasses occurs without a flame, and the molasses gets reduced into black, brown, amorphous substance, which is the lump of solid char.
Yes sir, continue.
Now you can see it. See it now?
Yes sir, yes.
So what is the molasses? What is the processes? What's fermentation process? Molasses is byproduct of sugar. Refining process contain high concentration of sugar. When exposed to air, microorganisms like bacteria and yeast can begin to ferment sugar in molasses. This is all chemistry. I mean, entire spontaneous combustion is a chemistry, because it is a basically chemical reaction outcome. So you may be getting something different in normal lectures about this, because this subject is like that one has to understand that there should be no flame in molasses. We have to also understand whether flame is prerequisite or not. That I'll come in the next one. That is the important area for underwriters and the surveyor to understand. Then insulation is because it is very thick, so heat transfer is very less. The temperature rise is very good, and it also create combustible gases. In that process, it creates methane and carbon dioxide. So it also produces combustible gases. That is one of the reasons. So you see, the property of every molasses is different, sponge iron is different, and other things are totally different. So they are the process: ignition, flame and fire, and lowering ignition temperature is one of the way without external flame or spark. Once the molasses reaches its auto ignition temperature, it can spontaneously ignite. The ignition can occur without any external flame or spark. The ignition source is high temperature and presence of combustible gases within the molasses. Now, factor affecting the tendency, these are the factors: moisture content, temperature, and oxygen supply. These are the three content which may also refer into this. What are the factors affecting the tendency of auto-ignition molasses? Microbial activity, particle size, storage condition, and pressure buildup. These are the 7 features additional which are active. So important to note that small combustion in molasses is relatively rare, but not impossible, especially when large quantity of molasses are stored in confined vessel. To prevent such incidents, proper storage and ventilation measures should be placed when handling molasses or similar material or can store the small combustion. Now, last is sponge iron. Now, recently we have a very, for the benefit of all of you, a very interesting court cases against the sponge iron. What has happened? A surveyor in the Bhilai is a place where with a lot of sponge iron and lot of mining is being done. There is done. So there are number of cases. The surveyor there in Bhilai are well aware about the phenomena of sponge iron and sponge combustion. The company has recommended refused the claim for any reason. Then the surveyor has recommended, company has refused. Then the insured has gone to the court. Now it has gone to the district court, and the district court judge has given a wonderful judgment. I mean, a great judgment. I mean, who were very a lot of respect about the courts. You just see the judgment. You know what he said? He said that even my daughter in class 8 knows that iron cannot catch fire. How this surveyor has recommended this claim? So he has not only ordered to repudiate the claim, close the claim, and not to pay the claim, but also he has asked the regulator to see the credential of the surveyor and watch that why such surveyor are working in this state. Correct? I think Love Patel is aware of this incident, probably, if I am not mistaken. So you see, this has happened, right? So there is some time this sense has become nonsense, right? And I am very sorry to say, courts and surveyors are two different identities. Normally, most of surveyors during discussion and deliberation in the WhatsApp groups, they refer court judgment. सर्वेयर जो हमारे हैं वो सर्कुलर और कोर्ट जजमेंट के गुलाम हैं, उनका अपना कोई पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू नहीं है. And that's why I will not rate them as a professional. They are not professionals. They are in the mercy of the circulars. They are in the mercy of the finding circular. Rather, it is who have given the circulars. It is about the institute job to give these technical inputs to the court, even to the underwriters and to the insurance company. On the contrary, we are begging rather for that. This is where we are losing. आज जब अपना काम नहीं करेंगे, जो काम आपको करना है, तो आप तो महत्वहीन हो जाएंगे. तो हम तो महत्वहीन अपने आप को खुद कर रहे हैं. क्यों कर रहे हैं? कोर्ट ने जजमेंट दिया, कोर्ट ने जजमेंट दिया. Let us stand and understand. Court are doing their job. We should do our job. We are interpreting a contract which is established insurance contract. We cannot go out of that contract. But court can go for the public good, for the natural justice, for all this. They can go. But we can't. Correct? So the point is that giving the, I mean, many times I have during discussion, even with the underwriters and even with the surveyors and very senior surveyors, they have a tendency to quote the court judgment in WhatsApp group. I mean, this is something, I mean, I have no words. They're bizarre. You are a professional, you are a trained surveyor. Do your job. That's it. What court says, what underwriter says, if underwriter had done something bad underwriting, it is his job. What court has imposed in one of the cases recently I came across. Now, arbitration, in spite of I filed the case in the right to proper interest, arbitration was given in favor of the insured. Now, right, in that case, which I am referring to, I came across to. And you know what is the remark of the manager there? He said, I told Shukla ji, allow him. Why not to allow? You didn't allow, and you fight it. Do you know what has happened? What has happened? We lost this case. Now entire onus comes to me for doing the right. I've done right. But at least you have to be on your legs. You have to on your legs. अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना पड़ेगा. आपने जो प्रोडक्ट किया है उसको समझना पड़ेगा, उसको समझाना पड़ेगा कि these are the limitation of the product. Hello, this is not everything. This is not total product. These are the conditions, these are the exclusions, these are the things. This we have to explain. So, coming to this spontaneous combustion in sponge iron, a very interesting case. Sponge iron has a high water retention and low heat conductivity. I think it's very simple, you can understand. It's very small chemistry reason. Sponge iron is porous and its larger inner surface favors higher absorption of moisture and oxygen. So porous means it is hydroscopic. Means once anything is hydroscopic, it's a tendency to absorb moisture which condenses inside. In that process is the related heat of vaporization. And that heat starts the process. Right? So it is of the, unlike biological degradation, unlike oil cake, unlike coal, it has different reasons, totally different reasons. It has two reasons for this. One is it has some entrapped carbon monoxide. It is reduced by two processes, by using coal and by using natural gas. When you take out the after mined sponge iron, it is reduced. That is the process. This is the reduction process. You see the mill is doing the reduction process. Now the fuel used for reduction is two. One is coal and another is gas. So one is coal based and another is gas based. Correct? And it has a property, a hydroscopic property. Sponge iron is produced by gaseous reduction process, contain entrapped carbon monoxide. This is through mining, it has carbon monoxide already there. When this sponge iron comes in contact with moisture, the formation of hydrated iron oxide takes place, which is an exothermic reaction. Exothermic means it generates heat. Also, the moisture condenses, cools down to liquid form, releasing its latent heat of vaporization. The heat exhaled by this reaction in presence of carbon monoxide gives rise to the evolution of fumes. The sponge iron starts sweating and becoming hot. The phenomenon is known as pyrophysicity, ignition in contact with air at 54 degrees centigrade. In case of sponge iron, the fumes in the presence of excessive moisture and strong wind may also convert to flame. Correct? Now we have to give that presentation. There's a team. Love Patel was also there, 1 or 2%. Some Mr. Pillai of our ex-council was also there. So we jointly prepared a presentation, sent to the IRDA that yes, that is the surveyor has done the right thing, and the court was wrong in educating the that person for no reason. Then his license is saved. See, so they are not holy cows. They are like us. वो कोई मंगल ग्रह से आए हुए लोग नहीं है. वो हमारे आपकी तरह के लोग हैं जो बैठे हुए हैं. With all respect, but they are doing their job with all honor to them. But we should do our job. We should do our job. My point is that Ispandaren is reduced by solid reduction process, not pyrophoric nature. Means solid reduction process में कम chances होते हैं. However, the sponge iron so produced is allowed to come in contact with either moisture, water for a considerable period of time, or with hot metal slag in presence of moisture, strong wind, then there may be a possibility of it. Now, this is the loss minimization measure during exposure, which as a surveyor, as an insured, as an underwriter, we all three know. But unfortunately, nobody knows this. Even insured does not know it. Because he has no, he has lack of space, he has a storage constraints, so he store whatever manner he does it, and ultimately to the losses, and company has to pay the claim. So this is how we have discussed about the phenomenon of the 5 commodities of the sponge iron, oil cake, dual cake, hay cake, and coal. Now, what are the sponge combustion sponge iron? The storage method, because we are discussing how it should be stored. Compact pile are more prone to, and this is how they are to be segregated. This is in case of haystack. This is in case of coal. Coal is a pile, they are more prone to sponge combustion. But if it is storage like this, then it is less prone to. So there is a distribution and ventilation. So distribution, ventilation, storage is very, very important to minimize the loss. Now you see how this is stored. This is how this is. There is no ventilation, no ventilation. This is storage. This is dual cake. So something has bound to occur here. यहाँ तो होगा ही. साल में एक बार या 2-3 साल में तो एक बार होना ही है. आप एक बार प्रीमियम लेंगे, 8-10 साल का प्रीमियम लेंगे, एक क्लेम में सब बराबर हो जाएगा, आगे पीछे का. और क्लाइंट भी खुश नहीं होगा क्योंकि आप उसको डिसअलाउ भी करेंगे, वो कोर्ट भी जाएगा, वहां से भी क्लेम लेगा. तो एक लॉस कितनी परेशानी हो गया. आप 10 साल से प्रीमियम ले रहे हैं इस क्लाइंट से, यू आर वेरी हैप्पी, यू हैव वेरी गुड क्लाइंट, वन लॉस हैज अकर्ड and that problem to you, problem to client, problem to surveyor, then he went to court gave me actually ultimately get more claim with interest, though the company and surveyor are all justified in their approach. Now, why sponge combustion is not covered standard fire? That is a point I wanted to under for all underwriters who are joining this program, that why sponge combustion is covered as a cause is not covered in standard fire. अब ये पॉइंट इंटरेक्ट का था, लेकिन मैं इंटरेक्ट इसलिए नहीं कर पाऊंगा कि मुझे ऐसा बताया गया कि अभी इंटरेक्ट मुझे बाद में करना है. तो आई एम जस्ट कमिंग स्ट्रेट टू द पॉइंट कि स्पॉन्ज कंबशन को कवर क्यों नहीं किया जाता, आपको क्यों एक्सक्लूड किया है. इसलिए एक्सक्लूड किया है because if the insurance company knows in advance that the property they are insuring against fire has a tendency to catch fire on its own, then certainly they will exclude its combustion as a cause, as a prudent underwriters, because source of ignition is within the subject matter. अगर आपको ये पता है, if you knows from day one कि भैया ये बाहर से आग नहीं पड़ेगा, ये अंदर से भी आग पकड़ सकता है, तो as a prudent underwriter आप कहेंगे no, I will not insure it. I will not insure it, and that's the right thing. Why is sponge combustion covered by charging this additional premium? So if you're not insuring, then why you are charging with additional premium? For such commodities, insurance company has offered add-on extension cover for charging additional premium. The underlying principle is higher the risk, so higher the rate. Because risk is high, so higher the rate means additional coverage. You charge more. The principle is higher the risk and higher the rate. That's why we charge this. The policy wording, now there is the extension in this, once it is covered in the fire policy, once it is covered, you have taken add-on cover. Here says in consideration of payment by insured to the company of additional premium, the company agrees notwithstanding what is stated in the printed exclusion of this policy, to the contrary, that the insurer of this policy shall extend to include loss or damage by fire only of or to the property insured caused by its own fermentation, natural heating, sponge combustion. The expression by fire only in the endorsement above must not be omitted under any problem. Now, this is from where the problem starts. This fire only. Now, fire only has different interpretation by different person. By different person. I mean, somebody confused it with flame only. Somebody is confused with something else. Some underwriter thinks something else. Course orders is saying something else. A, B, C, D. In the service understanding is something. In many training program, when you are at this, I have shown this slide and I asked this surveyor, what is this fire only mean? So rarely, I have an answer. I have not had a correct answer, not even from underwriter, not even from the writer. So we have to understand what is this extension, what is the limitation of the extension, what is this. The first thing we always understand, we should never forget, it is a cause, it is not a peril. This is point number one. And it is not only you have to understand, it is insured has to understand also. You are insuring a cause by this, but the peril remain fire. It means that there should be a fire by any reason. और फिर क्या कर रहे हैं? Damage by fire. So there are two things. Damage by fire only means there should be fire, or damage by fire and only means whatever damage after the fire will be payable. Means pre-ignition losses are not covered. And principally they should not be covered. Why they should be not covered? Because they are all chemical reaction. No fire policy cover chemical reactions. No fire policy by whatever premium, whatever charge, they cannot do it. Because that is the principle of insurance. You principally cannot cover oxidation reaction. You principally cannot cover biological degradation because they are not peril. They are cause in making. They create fire. Right? So you are covering a loss due to fire. It means that till I discussed earlier. The point which I am point to make it that there are two things about fire only. ये सारे underwriters और सब surveyors के लिए बहुत important point है. Fire only के दो dimension है. एक dimension है कि there should be a fire and whatever loss occurred should be only fire. अगर हम इसको briefly बात करें, कोई commodity जब store की गई थी, उसकी value अगर A थी और धीरे धीरे उसमें biological degradation हुआ, उसकी वैल्यू कम होती गई. अभी आग नहीं लगी. इट इज येट टू हैपन. धीरे 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 और वो एक स्टेज पे आई, डी स्टेज पे. अगर उस स्टेज को रोक लिया जाता तो डिग्रेड हो चुका था. अभी फायर अभी भी नहीं हुई है. उस वक्त उसकी वैल्यू क्या होती? कम होती. वो नहीं होती जो ओरिजिनल लोडेड वैल्यू थी. यानी अगर 80 रुपए किलो उसको लोड किया था और ये ड्यूरिंग स्टोरेज उसका घटते घटते बिफोर एक्चुअल इग्निशन अकर इट हैज रिड्यूस्ड टू 40. अगर उस मार्केट में तो मार्टे में वो काला डिग्रेडेड डिसकलर प्रोडक्ट होता, जो भी आप बेच रहे हैं, ऑयल केक हो या राइस ब्राउन हो, व्हाटएवर. सी, तो इट हैज वैल्यू बिफोर फायर इज 40 रुपीज a kg. नाउ इट कैचेस फायर and it convert to zero value. So what is payable is 80 minus 0 or 40 minus 0. What is payable is 40 minus 0. यानी 40 rupees are payable. यहीं पे झगड़ा है. सारा प्रॉब्लम यहीं पे है. क्यों क्लाइंट कहता है मुझे 80 रुपए दो, इंश्योरेंस कहती है मैं तुम्हें 40 रुपीज दूंगा, और दूसरा इंश्योरेंस कंपनी कहती है कि देयर शुड बी ए फायर. लेट अस फर्दर अंडरस्टैंड इट. Here, by term fire only is very important. Magnify that indemnity under the extension limited to the bag, heap or catches fire as far as combustion. Therefore, by fire only is to exclude pre-ignition losses due to biological heating and fermentation. This is what I already explained to you. However, the fire so occurred if up further क्या हुआ कि there are lot of things have happened. However, the fire so occurred if flare to the adjoining bag damages them externally, then such bags are automatically covered under fire policy. It means if one lot or one bag catches fire and that fire catches to another bag, affected the another bag, so that bag or that heap or that lot will be covered standard fire because that is damaged because of the external fire. The pointer here is this extension, the spontaneous combustion is as a cause and not a peril and limited to those bags or heaps which were damaged inherently by fire due to spontaneous combustion, not by external fire, inherently damaged due to fire by spontaneous combustion. Where the policy include add-on cover strict interior interpretation of the word loss or damage by falling pre-ignition damage. What are the pre-ignition damage? इसको थोड़ा सा मैं एक बार और थोड़ा सा डिस्कस कर लेते हैं हम लोग, एक एग्जांपल देकर डिस्कस करते हैं इसको. Pre-ignition damage. As already discussed, the item like deoil, cake, hay, pistachio, nuts, vegetable oil when stored in bags, heaps in large stake remain in ongoing process of fermentation, heating during the storage. When stored in large unventilated space. अगर एक नॉर्मल हीप को भी आप थोड़े दिन बाद हटाओगे तो अंदर से आपको गर्म मिलेगा. You check it and check with anybody. It may be noted that spontaneous combustion in bag or stack does not occur instantly. It is in fact the outcome of several chain of physical changes and exothermic reaction when stored called pre-ignition reactions. The chain of pre-ignition reaction in case of de-oil mahua cake, I'm just giving an example as a de-oil mahua cake. First step, the fermentation process due to which the constituent with a relatively low ignition temperature begins to release. It is the first process occurred during storage, is a fermentation process, biological heating, which is the natural process. तो जो relatively low ignition point वाले product वो start होंगे. Low ignition point means which can absorb easily, like fibers. They have fibers or vegetable fibers. Vegetable fibers in the cake are low ignition temperature. When this material is stored in large heap, heat is unable to escape and the temperature rises. Due to oxidation, exothermic reaction progresses and accelerate with accumulation of heat and rise in temperature sufficient to kickstart charring, discoloring of the material. If the material gets exposed to an oxidizer such as atmospheric oxygen, the combustion may start. The material gets discolored and charred in the process from 1 to 3. Even before the actual fire occurred, such losses are not covered as per spontaneous combustion extension. This is the meaning of the fire only. If we give an example, the sole purpose of this add-on cover for combustion to indemnify the insured in an incident of occur caused by fire caused by spontaneous combustion. The indemnity received by insured in the cost of commodities just prior to fire, thus ignoring the pre-ignition damages caused by the spontaneous combustion before the fire started. Now, give an example. Stage 1. Say de-oil cake is stored. Original cost is 100 rupees a kg. Stage 2. Stock undergoes spontaneous combustion, biological reaction result in the first stage. Stage number 1. एक दूसरी stage में very slow process हुआ. It is heating up. It is slightly discolored, slightly degraded. Now, if that point it is being pulled out, it is cost will be reduced to 80 rupees a kg because market will say because of discolor के भैया इसका 100 नहीं 80 रुपया देंगे. Now, stage 3. अगर आप फिर उसको रखे रहेंगे, trapped heat elevates the temperature, the ignition point of the packing, charring. They start shrinking material inside, start charring, blackening, volatile substances start operating without starting a fire. Weight, quantity and quality degrading. अब इससे volatile material operate हो गया, material shrink हो गया, char हो गया, means blackening शुरू हो गई है, and speed of the process. अभी भी आग नहीं लगी है, अभी भी आग नहीं लगी है. अगर उस स्टेज पे आप इसको पिकअप कर लेंगे तो इसकी कॉस्ट होगी 50 रुपीज a kg. Now, stage 4. The packing bag ignites after some time when the heat is tight and de-oil cake starts smoldering along with the bag. This stage leads to fire breaking out shortly after smoldering start. Ash which can't burn further. Cost is 0. Now it burned and cost is 0. The conclusion in case of its combustion add-on, the indemnity payable with the value of stock just prior to the fire and not the whole value of stock is payable. So what is payable is 50 rupees a kg value just prior to minus stage 3 burnt quantity of the fire. So 50 plus 10 is equal to 500. Not अगर उसकी value just stage 4 पे just prior to fire 50 rupees a kg थी तो हम 80 रुपए किलो नहीं देंगे, हम उसको 10 रुपए किलो देंगे. ये पॉइंट है. जैसे मैंने आपको पिक्चोरियल व्यू में दे रहा हूँ, ये स्टेज 1 है, यहाँ से ऑयल केक निकल रहा है या मैन्युफैक्चर हो रहा है. अब ये पैक किया गया, ये स्टेज 2 में मटेरियल थोड़ा डिस्कलर हुआ है स्टोरेज में, अभी कोई आग वाग नहीं लगी है, ये गर्म हो रहा है, इस शेप में आ गया. उसके बाद ये आप देखिए ब्लैक हो गया मटेरियल, अभी भी कोई आग नहीं लगी है, स्टेज 3 मटेरियल चार्ट, इसकी वैल्यू डिग्रेडेशन हो रही है, रिएक्शंस हो रहे हैं इसके अंदर, एंड इट नाउ कैचेस फायर. Here it catches fire and the material is blackened and burned. Now here we start the combustion of the fire. So what is payable? What is payable is the difference between this value to this value. You see a stack normal feature here. See, huge material was stored here, and here from this portion these blacks were burned. Concentration. These bags were removed. Plenty of bags have these material degraded. When all the bags were removed, number of bags were degraded, where insured also want to claim of those, and insurance company has problem in that, and court is paying these bags also. Court is paying these bags also. These are the burned bags, the material, and here in the claim only 300-400 bags were considered for payment, whereas about 2,500 bags were apparently okay. Like this is okay, there's no fire, but if you open these bags, you will find the material charred, blackened in a pre-ignition state. So this is these are the things which I wanted to share with. This is why damage to undergoing heating and drying is not covered, because there are two exclusions. That one is spontaneous combustion, which can be covered under add-on cover. But the another question is, if that is covered, why this is not covered? This is also an academic question, so not directly related with this. So I'll just spend 2 minutes on this to close it up.
Shukla sir?
Yeah.
और बाकी हमारे कितना बच रहा है?
बस 5 मिनट.
Okay. Okay. Continue, sir.
So here, like this, only 5 minutes. क्या टाइम हो गया शर्मा जी?
12:05 हो गए.
ठीक है.
Yes, continue, sir. Continue.
So here you see the toast of undergoing heating and drying. They're undergoing heating. Now your wife forget, busy some work, and they get burned, right? And ultimately, what is the output? Probably like this, right? Now this is not considered as an add-on cover for simple reason, because this is an inevitable kind of losses, because the frequency of such losses are more as compared to spontaneous combustion. So that's why they have taken this as a add-on cover and they have not taken as a. So this is the understanding of the peril, that how we understand that how much extent we can consider it as a peril, which can be covered as an add-on cover, and how cannot insured under any circumstances. So this is not insured under any circumstances, whereas spontaneous combustion is covered. Now there are two more information at the end I wanted to share with you in this. There are two more information which I have lost. That the recent circulars by some insurance company, two things are clear. One thing about the unit, that because this material can be packed in either in a heap or in bag, right? So they say one heap will be considered 1 unit and one bag will be considered 1 unit for the purpose of ascertaining the extent of damage. Means each bag will be considered as separate unit, right? So in that case, only the bags which were burned due to fire will be given. Another point, after the lot of court judgment, they say no, we will also cover pre-ignition damage. But means it does not mean that those bags are covered. It means that we will not deduct any losses to the bags which are under fire, which are damaged due to fire, and we deduct certain amount in earlier about 20-25% pre-ignition losses. Now that is to be recommended as a whole, but that too only for those bags which were damaged due to fire. So this is the number 2 for all of you to know, and that is one about sustainability law. So this is the end of my presentation today about this. So I welcome for any questions. In the meantime, I can take a glass of water with the permission of OP sir.
Oh my God. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You have taken a lot of continuous, sir. I was astonished and really hats off you. Thank you, sir. Please take rest. Patel, sir, please.
थैंक यू सर। शुक्ला सर, एक निवेदन है, स्क्रीन शेयर ऑफ कर दें सर। तो जो पॉइंट्स अभी तक रेज हुए थे तो उनकी स्क्रीन शेयर अवेलेबल है, तो वो मैं जब तक एड्रेस करने के लिए सामने रखता हूँ। प्रदीप तांबे सर, आप क्वेश्चंस को एक बार इस पे लिख देंगे, तो जो क्वेश्चंस लिखे मैं चैट बॉक्स में हम लोग पहले उसको एड्रेस कर देंगे। अनडाउटेबली शुक्ला साहब के इस डेलिब्रेशन में कहीं ना कहीं बहुत सारी नई चीजें थी काफी सारे लोगों के लिए, और साथ में एक जवाबदारी और जिम्मेदारी भी थी कि अगर आप गलत करोगे तो कहीं ना कहीं जैसे भी पकड़ में आएगा तो प्रॉपर ढंग की डांट पड़ेगी, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। तो सर्टेनली सर, यस, हम लोग को जो फीडबैक्स आए थे या जो प्रेजेंटेशंस में एक मिसिंग था, वो सर की नॉलेज में मैं लाना चाहूंगा कि जब अगले ओपन हाउस सेशन में अपन लेंगे तो सर अपन को स्मोल्डरिंग और फायर ट्रायंगल, इस दो पॉइंट को भी अपने को कहीं ना कहीं ऐड करना होगा सर, क्योंकि कई पॉइंट्स ऐसे आए थे जो स्मोल्डरिंग से रिलेटेड थे या फायर ट्रायंगल से रिलेटेड थे। एंड सर्टेनली आई एम शेयरिंग द स्क्रीन फॉर द पॉइंट्स रेज्ड और मेंशन टिल नाउ, तो मैं उसको यहाँ पर शेयर कर रहा हूँ। जी
पटेल सर, ये तो आप जो ला रहे हैं अच्छा है, इसके साथ साथ ही क्योंकि हमारे जो डिग्नेटरी जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी से आए हैं, मैं चाहूंगा कि अगर वो अपने क्वेश्चंस हैं तो प्रायोरिटी पे वो ले लें, और बाकी लोग
मैंने
तो
चैट बॉक्स में, हाँ, चैट बॉक्स में मैंने डाल के रखा हुआ है कि वो लोग हैंड रेज कर सकते हैं। इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर एंड आई अगेन रिक्वेस्ट जो भी इंश्योरर्स अदर देन सर्वेयर्स, जो भी पर्संस कुछ भी बात अपनी रखना चाहते हैं तो दे कैन रेज देयर हैंड। मीनवाइल जितने अभी चैट मैसेजेस आए थे, आई एम जस्ट रीडिंग सो दैट जब तक लोग हैंड रेज कर रहे हैं वी कैन यूटिलाइज ईच एंड एवरी मिनट इन दिस प्लेटफॉर्म। मिस्टर मोहन वतनानी जी ने लिखा है,
एक सेकंड सर, एक सेकंड, रमेश बाबू, आई विल रिक्वेस्ट यू अनम्यूट ऑल so that they can raise hand and they can speak also in time. Thank you sir. Continue, Patel sir, please.
जी, मोहन वतनानी जी कॉलेज ऑफ इंश्योरेंस या इंश्योरेंस इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया के एमपी ब्रांच को हेड करते हैं। राइट एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर नॉट कवरिंग स्पॉन्टेनियस कंबशन, इन अदर वर्ड इट इज इनहेरेंट वॉइस प्री एसिंग और समथिंग which is certain, and general insurance covers something which is accidental nature. Good presentation, congratulations, the compliments from Mohan Vatnani ji. Then महेश शर्मा जी और नितिन जोशी जी के पॉइंट थे, या उत्पल शर्मा जी के, आनंद अलकुटकर सर के पॉइंट्स थे, तो वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग दिस एट द लेटर स्टेज। और अगर इससे पहले इंश्योरर्स कोई अपनी बात रखना चाहते हैं तो आई हैव नोटेड डाउन दीज पॉइंट्स एंड वी कैन डिस्कस। पहले हम लोग इंश्योरर को सुन लेते हैं, फिर इस पॉइंट को हम फिर से सामने ले आएंगे सर। थैंक यू। मोहन तांबे जी, आप कुछ बोलना चाहते थे, प्लीज अनम्यूट करें अपने आप को। मोहन तांबे जी अनम्यूट करें अपने आप को।
अनम्यूट अनम्यूट
मोहन तांबे जी अनम्यूट करना होगा आपको अपने आप को।
Patel sir, can we request T. Ramesh Babu to unmute all?
ऑलरेडी अनम्यूटेड, अब उनको इंडिविजुअल करना होगा।
He is unmuted. Please.
या तांबे साहब प्लीज।
हाँ, मैं बात कर सकता हूँ अभी?
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
Okay, sir, there is one request that you have done a good job of giving this lecture. I congratulate you. But from the insurance angle, if we have to see that we have now two new products in the market, that is a Laghu policy and Sukshma policy. In these two policies, the coverage that we pay and we do not pay, and they have made two separate columns. In that, our question, and in the litigation matters also, we see that many products, they do not imitate flame. Under the circumstances, whether the claim only by damage due to the inherent vice to a large extent is covered or not. Because for this purpose, whatever you have said is applicable in standard fire policy and the extension in the policy which is given. However, looking at the wording of Laghu and Sukshma policy, how I feel that these two new policies are little bit modified to consider the damage only if it is by spontaneous combustion or self-heating also. Only thing that it should be sudden and it should be a large damage. That is what my perception about this thing. I would like you to add on this because there are a number of confusions on these particular issues of spontaneous combustion so far as Laghu and Sukshma policy is concerned.
Should I speak now? Reply?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think one thing I do not agree with you that it is the inherent vice. It is a wrong term. It is not exactly inherent vice. Inherent vice is a little different. There is a little difference between these two things. Impulse combustion and inherent vice are little bit too different. अगर आप थोड़ा chemical उस पे जाएंगे तो there are two things. There one more thing you asked about this लघु उद्योग policy. जो एक्सक्लूजन उस पॉलिसी में फायर में है वो वहाँ इंक्लूड कर लिया गया है बस. देयर इज नो चेंज. वहाँ स्पॉन्टेनियस कंबशन को एक्सक्लूड किया गया एज ए कॉज, वहाँ उसको इंक्लूड कर लिया है उन्होंने विदाउट एनी एडिशनल कवर. बट दैट एक्सटेंशन ऑफ फायर ओनली इज स्टिल देयर. उसके 51 पन्नों का वो है आपका लघु उद्योग की पॉलिसी जिसको बहुत सिंपलिसिटी से बनाने का वादा किया गया है और लगता है कि वो बहुत जल्दी में बनाया गया एक प्रोडक्ट है. इट इज अ बंडल ऑफ मिस्टेक्स है उस प्रोडक्ट में. अगर आप पढ़ेंगे उसमें कुछ गलतियां अभी यूनाइटेड इंडिया इंश्योरेंस कंपनी ने ठीक की है, उसमें अपना एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया है, बट इट्स ए पुलिंदा ऑफ मिस्टेक्स. एनीवे दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग ऑल टुगेदर. इट इज कवर्ड, built in cover, so there is no difference. And for flame is one thing, fire and flame, and for inherent vice and spontaneous combustion, I think I will prefer to have another lecture whether flame is prerequisite for fire or not, and only we ensure no flame, no claim, or we can also ensure smoke as a fire insurance company. That is also a big debate, a question, which is in fact not a question. इसका कोई सवाल नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन ये सवाल है. वो हमारे दिमाग में फ्लेम घुसा हुआ है, वो निकल नहीं रहा है. मेरा ये कहना है इस पॉइंट में सिंपल ये कहना है, अगर फ्लेम होना जरूरी है तो किसी पॉलिसी में फ्लेम क्यों नहीं लिखा है? आप एक पॉलिसी बता दें जिसमें फ्लेम लिखा है. सब जगह फायर क्यों लिखा है? अगर फ्लेम होना जरूरी है तो फ्लेम होना चाहिए, ये फायर बटे फ्लेम होना चाहिए. आप मुझे एक पॉलिसी दिखा दो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी की जिसमें दो शब्द लिखे हों, एक फ्लेम लिखा हो और एक मार्केट वैल्यू लिखा हो. वो अब इन नई पॉलिसियों में आया है. इसके पहले मार्केट वैल्यू कोई वर्ड था नहीं, वर्ड था वैल्यू, VALUE. सो इसी जो फायर और फ्लेम का जो इश्यू है, इसमें कोर्ट ने भी जजमेंट दिए हैं. बहुत सारी कंपनियों ने नो क्लेम किए हैं, बहुत सारे कोर्ट ने नो क्लेम किए हैं. बहुत एक लॉ है, इंग्लिश लॉ है, जिसमें उस कोर्ट ने कहा है मरीन क्लेम में कि फ्लेम इज प्रीरिक्विजिट. बट दिस इज रॉन्ग, एंड फॉर दैट आई नीड एंड वन मोर अपॉर्चुनिटी whenever it comes. I will explain in detail that why flame is what we mean by fire in insurance. Is it flame is necessary or not? So I think and the number two question is inherent vice. So there is a difference between inherent vice and this. वो थोड़ा सा एक delicate है, वो मैं उसको अलग से भी उसको डील करना चाहूंगा कि inherent vice और spontaneous combustion they are two different things.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Lopetel sir, next.
I request all insurers, in case if they want to put anything or they want to mention anything, otherwise then we'll take the call from the surveyors. Anyway, I don't think
Ramesh, sorry, Lopetel sir, because already it is 12:17. I believe we with surveyors we can have another session on next particular day. You can announce for that, and we can wind up this session if all permits.
Let's here give 5 minutes, 10 minutes more.
Okay.
We'll close it up by 12:30. 13 minutes are additional.
Okay.
So any surveyor member, any insurer members or surveyor members, if want to have any points, We have noted down the message of Nitin Joshi sir, Utpal Sharma ji, Mahesh Sharma ji, and Anand Alkutkar sir. So we will take up the points. Praveen ji, please mention your chat points also here right now, so that we will make the chat query together and we will hand it over to Shukla sir. And in next day presentation, we can have it up, sir. Please mention it on the chat box so that we can note it down. Ramesh Babuji, please.
Shukla sir, good morning.
Very good morning.
Sir, actually, it may be different from this subject. Earlier in a discussion, in motor policy self-ignition के बारे में आपकी तरफ से एक discussion हुआ. You have mentioned that two more such policies are there, covering the perils that were emanated or created within the subject matter. So on that point also, just I would like to hear which policies are having such perils.
I think what I am discussing was about the accidental external means, not about self-ignition.
Self-ignition only, sir. I mentioned that self-ignition is the only peril in the motor policy, which was created within the subject matter.
Within the subject matter, yeah.
You have mentioned that two more policies are there.
No. I think there is some miscommunication. I mentioned about accidental external means that two more policy have.
Okay, thank you.
Because accidental external means is a major peril in motor, because 99% claim occur on this, right? That we all know. But in other, you will not find this policy, this peril anywhere else. But in two policy it exists. One is TV insurance. It exists, and one is the laptop insurance, which is a portable equipment policy. It exists. The two there. So not about self-ignition. There is some confusion.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you. Over, sir.
लो पटेल सर अनम्यूट कीजिए. लो पटेल सर अनम्यूट कीजिए. अनम्यूट कीजिए सर. लो पटेल सर, you are mute. Yes.
Sorry, by mistake it was unmuted. Mr. Mohan Vatnani ji address करना चाहते हैं प्लेटफॉर्म को. So I request Mohan Vatnani sir to please come forward. He is ex-NICN, National Insurance Company में काम करने के बाद में College of Insurance या Insurance Institute of India की ट्रेनिंग सेंटर MP इंदौर में काफी समय से बहुत ही एक्टिव हैं और काफी प्रोग्राम्स देते रहते हैं. तो we'll have a feedback from him क्योंकि उन्होंने भी काफी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करे हैं. So what they feel like and where the scope of improvement is, so that we can improve ourselves, because our whole motto is सीखते चलो और सिखाते चलो. So Vatnani sir, please.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Vatnani sir, can you hear us?
Welcome.
Hello. Am I clear?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Lo Patel sir. Thank you, everyone. It's a wonderful program. I don't know how long it was going, but I joined around 11 o'clock, and beautiful discussion. Is it a regular program or weekly program?
Sir, we are having daily meeting for several brothers, starting at sharp 8 and closing it at sharp 9. And we are delivering or giving resolution for daily problems. कल कुछ भी करके आए तो उसमें कुछ confusion हुआ या कुछ भी doubt हुआ, and what the policy says, what the circular says, and once in a month or in fortnight period, we are trying to make such kind of sessions. And if you all are interested for such more meetings, then we can spare in some more time also. And we request कि आपके पास भी जो literature या जो College of Insurance deliberate करने की कोशिश करता है, if you want to take the classes and all that, so
surely we can do one thing. Fortnightly, I can join you, okay? And we will invite people from College of Insurance, Mumbai and NIA, if it is possible, okay? So 15 days of duration will be okay. And if I get time, because 8 o'clock, I am also running online classes. So if it permits me, sometime I can join you on daily basis also whenever lectures are not there. But otherwise, we can keep it for fortnight program. We can participate definitely, and it will be a very good thing for whole industry. I think we should invite more insurers, surveyors, and insurance fraternity, because it is happening. See, every third dispute which is going into consumer forum is from insurance sector, which is a bad thing, because judges are telling that we do not know our own subject, and that creates the problem. So why every third case is going to court? So it is just lack of our knowledge only. So I think this forum can solve these problems. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, we are trying to addressing these issues only. And
Right.
we should serve the legitimate right of insured. That is the sole aim.
Right.
कोशिश तो जारी है, sir. Let's hope so.
Sure.
Thank you very
And
much.
will you be intimating the subject also?
Yes, sir. In the every Zoom link, we generally try to mention the subject matter so that we can participate.
Right. So that will be fine. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. जोशी सर।
हाँ सर, बहुत बढ़िया प्रोग्राम रहा आज का जो है। इस तरह के हमारे बहुत से विद्वान सर्वेयर हैं हमारे हिंदुस्तान में। शुक्ला जी ने आज बहुत अच्छा डेलिवरेशन दिया, अभी सेनानी जी का भी बीच में था। ऐसी और भी सर्वेयर है। ये सब्जेक्ट कुछ ऐसे है जिसमें सर्वेयर कंफ्यूज रहता है, तो शुक्ला जी ने आज स्पॉन्टेनियस कंबस्शन पे काफी डीपली सारी चीजें हमें समझाई, और मैं शुक्ला जी से निवेदन करता हूँ इसी तरह आते रहे और हम लोगों को जो अपने डेलिवरेशन से लाभान्वित करते रहे, ऐसी मेरी आशा है।
थैंक यू।
जोशी जी, ड्राइविंग के समय मत करो यार, रिस्की है।
वेरी राइट।
सेनानी सर, जो इंश्योरेंस आपने कॉल किए थे, अगर वो इंश्योरेंस कुछ बोलना चाहें, अगर आप उनको बोलने के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म पे इनवाइट करना चाहें, प्लीज सर, लास्ट 5 मिनट।
I'll invite insurers who have joined to raise their questions or give their opinion. Welcome. अनु जी दिख रहे थे मुझे, अनु अपूर्व दिख रहे थे, और चिराग जी दिख रहे थे मुझे।
Yes.
So can anyone come forward?
It says in chat box that Mr. Shrikant Upadhyay from New India Assurance Company.
Yes sir.
जी सर, मैं श्रीकांत उपाध्याय। सर, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा सेशन। दिस इज फर्स्ट टाइम फॉर मी, और मुझे अगर आप परमिट करेंगे तो चूंकि ये क्लेम हब का इंचार्ज होने के नाते कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स डेली आती ही हैं हमको, और मुझे लगता है कि जिस तरह से शुक्ला जी ने एनलाइटन किया हमको, इस तरह के अगर रेगुलर सेशन होंगे तो मैं अपनी और टीम को भी इसमें ज्वाइन कराना चाहूंगा कि वो भी पार्टिसिपेट करें, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली ये पूरी तरह से होल इंडस्ट्री के लिए बहुत अच्छा है।
Certainly सर, यही हम लोग की प्रैक्टिस रही है जी, हम लोग की यही प्रैक्टिस रही है कि पिछले साल 2 साल से हम लोग इस तरीके के प्लेटफॉर्म पर हर टॉपिक पर लें। सो यू आर ऑलवेज वेलकम। हम लोग आपको एडवांस में लिंक दे देंगे। वी कैन हैव इट ऑन अ fortnightly basis, and whatever the problems are there, we can call in advance so that we can deliberate it to the proper resolution. अगर proper resolution नहीं रहे और सिर्फ discussion में बात खत्म हो जाएगी तो purpose नहीं solve होगा। So certainly we will make this point so that we can do it in a better way. Thank you very much sir.
बहुत अच्छा सर, लेकिन मैं आपको, शुक्ला जी को, और सबसे पहले हमारे मिस्टर A.K. सक्सेना जी को मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा, क्योंकि he invited me for joining.
Thank you sir.
Thank you.
योगेश कुमार जी प्लीज। सर अनम्यूट है, प्लीज अनम्यूट करें। सर अनम्यूट करें सर।
Can it is audible?
Yeah, audible sir.
Very good afternoon. Myself Yogesh Kumar. I am working with IFCO Tokyo General Insurance. Thank you Love Patel ji, Shukla ji and Sharma ji and of course Manohar Senani ji, who usually have a discussion on the subjects. Although I have no very specific questions on the points, but certainly I am involved in the corporate claims unit at corporate office, IFCO Tokyo General Insurance. I usually, and it is benefited also, and it is always help in theory building of the claims also. Many times we have to take a critical decision, so then it will be prove a very fruitful results for us to represent the case before the court or before the insured also. Thank you very much, and certainly I welcome for the such drive that surveyors along with the insurer have a common objective. So it is a mutual win-win program for all the units also.
Right.
And I want to be included in future topics also. Thank you. Thank you again.
योगेश जी, एक रिक्वेस्ट और भी है सर।
Yeah, tell
सर,
me.
एक डिफेमेशन रहती है मार्केट में कि प्राइवेट इंश्योरर फोर्स करते हैं अपनी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन, तो सर्टेनली वो भी इस प्लेटफॉर्म से दूर होगी, आई होप सो।
No, certainly, and if you will permit, then I will add up my claim officer all over India to
Welcome,
as
sir.
and when you have a program.
Sir, welcome.
सर, शुक्ला साहब की एक बात आपने जरूर मार्क करी होगी कि शुक्ला साहब ने यही कहा था कि जो इंश्योरर बोलता है या कोर्ट रूलिंग्स बोलती है उसकी रिपोर्ट दे दो, तो उस चीज को सर कहीं ना कहीं ब्रेक करना ही है सर। एंड सर्टेनली इट्स ऑल योर इंटरेस्ट ऑल्सो एंड सेम इज आवर इंटरेस्ट ऑल्सो कि हम इंश्योर्ड के लेजिटिमेट राइट को प्रिवेल करके उसको दें, और जो इल हेल्दी प्रैक्टिसेस हैं उसको हम लोग स्टॉप करें। तो वी रिक्वेस्ट कि सर कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग को एक प्रॉपर तरीके से काम करने की जरूरत तो है ही सर, इट्स अ नीड ऑफ द आवर सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर द ज्वाइनिंग सर।
नहीं, मैं थोड़ा इस मिथ को करना चाहता हूँ कि प्राइवेट इंश्योरर कभी भी फोर्स नहीं करते।
सर,
वो करते हैं।
सर हम लोग किसी की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना नहीं चाहते, आप और हम, बट यस अगर है तो बंद करना है, दैट्स इट।
हाँ, बिल्कुल सही।
मैं कुछ कहना चाहूंगा।
जी सेनानी सर, योर टर्न प्लीज।
आप सभी के लिए जो कि इस ग्रुप में अभी बोर्ड में सुन रहे हैं, मैं कहूंगा कि योगेश जी बहुत ही एक्टिव हैं और ये इंडिया से चुन करके सर्वेयर से अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए सेशंस कराते हैं। तो आप ये मान के चलिए जो वो वहां हम यहाँ कर रहे हैं वो वहां करवाया करते थे, बट नाउ वी हैव अ बिगर प्लेटफॉर्म हियर। इंश्योरर्स, ब्रोकर्स, surveyors, all the three entities can meet and can discuss the problem so that we should come on a common platform of thinking. Thank you Yogesh ji.
Thank you sir, thank you very much.
Thank you Senani sir. Rajesh ji please.
सर, मैं अपने मेंबर्स, फैकल्टी और एडमिन्स इनके साथ में एक क्वेश्चन पुट करना चाहूंगा। जैसे अभी न्यू इंडिया से सर ने बोला है कि उनको क्लेम हाउस में कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं उस चीज के लिए, क्या हम अपना वर्चुअल टेक ग्रुप में रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं कि हमारे को उनको कोई डिस्कशंस और प्रॉब्लम्स जो होती हैं जो डिस्कस करके सोल्यूशन अराइव करने के लिए दे कैन पुट दैट दिस प्रॉब्लम टू अ वर्चुअल ग्रुप, तो हम अपने फैकल्टीज और उसके साथ में उनको हम थोड़ा गाइड कर सकें ताकि इट विल बी अ बेटर सोल्यूशन फॉर पासिंग आउट द क्लेम फाइल्स आल्सो। क्या हम उसको एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं इस चीज के लिए? दैट विल बी बेटर फॉर द इंडस्ट्री। क्या हम ऑफर कर सकते हैं उस चीज के लिए? फैकल्टीज भी यहाँ पे हैं, एडमिन्स भी हैं, और वो हम बाकी एडमिन्स के साथ में भी वी कैन पुट अप दिस थिंग, और बाकी मेंबर्स भी हैं। अगर वो अप्रिशिएट करें इस चीज के लिए कि अगर इंश्योरेंस के क्लेम हाउस में जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं वो वर्चुअल ग्रुप को फॉरवर्ड कर देंगे, एंड दैट विल ऑल्सो सर एक हमारा जो पर्पस बन रहा है एक्सप्लेन करना यहाँ पे है हैज टू गो इन द सेम पैटर्न, तो उस चीज के लिए भी थोड़ा सा वो एक फॉरवर्ड पॉइंट बन जाएगा उसके लिए। तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट है कि हमारे वर्चुअल ग्रुप को इसका एक इनिशिएटिव लेना चाहिए, और द इंश्योरर्स हु आर डीलिंग विद द क्लेम्स, जो क्लेम्स हाउस बने हैं, दे कैन पुट द क्वेश्चंस एंड दिस इंक्वायरीज अबाउट इट, क्लैरिफिकेशन उस चीज के लिए। सर नो दिस टेक्निकल ओपिनियंस बट डिस्कशंस और उसका करके हम वो दे सकते हैं सर। आई एम ओवर सर, माय सजेशन अबाउट इट सर।
ओके, राजेश गुप्ता सर, आपका सजेशन बहुत अच्छा है और हम लोग सभी एक बार इसके बारे में मिलके एडमिन्स के साथ अपन डिस्कस करके वी विल कम आउट विद द रिजल्ट सर। दैट इज माय टेक।
Meanwhile, I have shared our mail ID in the chat box.
Yes.
The questions are most welcome on our mail. We can address it and we can provide the appropriate time to the insurers so that their tile will be utilized. Their precious time should not waste.
I fully agree with you, Deepak. Yes, I believe this is right time for that thanking session. Thank you vote. I will request Pramod Yadav sir and Rajesh Gupta sir to come forward. Pramod Yadav sir, please.
This has been a very good session and very fruitful one. And the response from the insurers were also on the positive side. And there were a lot of initiative from their side that they want to extend it to the other areas where they have problem. I think it is a big achievement that this platform has reached. And I would like to thank all the participants and PC Shukla ji, Sainani Sahab, and all the other members for their participation and active participation. Thank you.
I will request Rajesh Gupta sir to give end of this session, sir.
Sir, thanks. Shukla sahab, मन तृप्त नहीं हुआ सर. टाइम खत्म हो गया, पर तृप्ति अभी पूरी नहीं हो सकी. चाहते थे कि आपसे और ले लें जो हमारे जो वो अभी कुछ बूंदे ही आई हमारे ग्लास में, सब ग्लास अभी भरे नहीं है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. आप अपना आशीर्वाद हम सब लोगों को ऐसे ही देते रहिए और मैं सब पार्टिसिपेंट्स और दूसरे लोगों को एंड वी हैव कम अक्रॉस बहुत से लोग जो है फैकल्टीज यहाँ पे ज्वाइन हुए हैं आज, और हमारे को रिक्वेस्ट है सर वर्चुअल ग्रुप में ऐसी ही इंटरेक्शंस के लिए सर आपका जो कोटे है उसमें से जो आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं लोगों को दिस नॉलेज शेयर करने के लिए, प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड, हमारे को बताइए. विल ट्राई टू एंगेज. और ये फोर्टनाइटली जो भी चीज हो गया हम उसको स्लॉट में देके उसको लेके चलिए ताकि आपका एक्सपीरियंस और नॉलेज को हम अपने आप को उससे भी कर सकेंगे. थैंक यू वन एंड ऑल.
मैं क्लोज अप करूंगा
एक शायरी के साथ.
शेयर के कैसे हो सकता है सर, शेयर तो रहना गया.
करेक्ट. यस
मेहरबा हो के बुला लो चाहे मुझे जिस वक्त, मैं कोई बीता हुआ वक्त नहीं जो आ भी न सके.
सर आप बीते वक्त नहीं, हमारे तरोताजा वक्त है सर. आप अपने आप को उस लाइन पे क्यों ले जा रहे हैं? Anyway, thank you very much. I believe this is right time.
Thanks. My best wishes to all of you and virtual group for organizing such a wonderful. They have created a platform by hard work, discipline, and a lot of guidance of senior person. This is a very good effort. And कायदे से इस तरह के effort तो हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट से होने चाहिए. लेकिन anyway, they are filling that space जो कर रहे हैं और बहुत ही डेडिकेशन नजर आ रहा है मुझे, बहुत ही चाहत नजर आ रही है. इसलिए बहुत ही आपको सबको सलूट, बहुत सलाम और बहुत बहुत बधाइयाँ. और मैं हमेशा आपके लिए जो भी जब भी आप आदेश करेंगे मैं उपलब्ध रहूंगा. ये तो मेरा अपना प्रोग्राम, इसलिए
सर मैं एक पॉइंट बोलना चाहूंगा कि हम लोग हर वक्त बोलते हैं इंस्टीट्यूट, सर हम ही इंस्टीट्यूट है ना सर, हम जुड़े हुए हैं इंस्टीट्यूट से. अगर वहां पे किसी ने अगर कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके नहीं किया है तो इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि हमारे को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी.
नहीं, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ, मतलब वहां से होता तो ज्यादा.
मैं उस चीज के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ सर, मैं बाकियों को इन्वाइट कर रहा हूँ कि खुद को एक इंस्टीट्यूट का हिस्सा मानते हुए आगे आए. ये नहीं है कि वी शुड बी ऑन ए पोस्ट और तभी हम कर सकें. सर एक एफर्ट शुरू किया है हमने, ये चीज की हुई है, तो जुड़िए इसके साथ में, अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दीजिए और आगे चलते जाइए. जहां पे हम रह गए इंस्टीट्यूट में हो सकता है हम यहीं से चलते हुए आगे बढ़ जाए. सर
राजेश गुप्ता सर,
कंट्रीब्यूशन
in terms of the knowledge sharing only, not monetary.
सेनानी साहब को आपने देखा, सेनानी साहब को
सर रमेश जालान साहब हमारे साथ काफी देर से जुड़े हुए थे. रिक्वेस्ट की जालान साहब के दर्शन लाभ मिल जाएं सर.
प्लीज सर. और जालान साहब से कंक्लूड करवा दीजिए.
अनम्यूट कर लें तो मेरा सौभाग्य है.
सर नमस्ते. सर इतने चुपचाप बैठे रहेंगे तो सर फिर कैसे हम लोग को आशीर्वाद मिलेगा सर?
नहीं ऐसा मत कहिए. शुक्ला जी ने जिस टॉपिक पे बात की है ना, वो थोड़ा मेरे से सिर के ऊपर से जाता है. Not technically, but as far as the survey and loss assessment is concerned, because fire is not my field as such. But anyway, for very important discussion it was. Very informative, very knowledge providing discussion. And ये सेशन इस तरह का सेशन मैंने पहली बार ज्वाइन किया है, एंड फ्यूचर में इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती रहेगी, हम जरूर ज्वाइन करते रहेंगे, एंड जो कुछ मेरी तरफ से बन पड़ेगा जरूर करूंगा मैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
सर, वी आर
जालान
एक्सपेक्टिंग
साहब
लॉट
का
ऑफ
मैं
थिंग्स.
एक सेकंड ओम प्रकाश सर, जालान साहब का मैं इंट्रोडक्शन देना चाहूंगा 1 मिनट में ही, बाकी सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए जिनके लिए जालान साहब नए हैं. ये जालान साहब मोटर सर्वेयर्स के रिनोन्ड फैकल्टीज हैं, कई प्रोग्राम्स दिए हैं और मोटर में एक अथॉरिटेटिव होल्ड रखते हैं. तो एंड आई ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट जालान साहब कि जब भी टाइम परमिट करे, जब भी आप कंफर्टेबल रहें, वी आर कीपिंग डेली मीटिंग बिटवीन 8 to 9 and fortnightly such kind of session we are planning to have it. So whenever you are comfortable and you can spare the time, so I'll request सेनानी साहब कि वो इस टॉपिक को सपोर्ट करें. सर सेनानी सर अनम्यूट करें. सेनानी सर अनम्यूट करें सर.
Thank you very much for information of all. We have slated, we have planned, our blueprint is ready for one session every month for 6 months. And I'll be happy to announce that without seeking permission of Jalan Sahab, we have already considered him as one of the faculty. मैंने उनको communicate किया है, पर phone मिल नहीं पाया. So you all should be ready once in a month, specialist session for 1.5 hours. That might follow by 1 day, 1 hour discussions on subsequent days. तो ये हमारा 6 महीने से 12 महीने हो जाएगा. आप लोगों के जो भी सुझाव है वो आप ग्रुप में डाल सकते हैं, ताकि उन सुझावों के अनुसार हम अपने आप को अपग्रेड कर सकें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
जालान साहब को अपना इंट्रोडक्शन जो बात हो रही थी, जो कह रहे थे कि उनको इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे, मुझे लगता है इसमें गलती जालान साहब की है. इनको इंट्रोडक्शन देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं थी, लेकिन बीच में गायब हो गए. बस ये प्रॉब्लम है. ये तो हम लोग की दिलजीज है, मतलब जो झंडा हम लोगों ने उठाया था उसमें इनका भी बहुत बड़ा हाथ है. इनका हाथ है उस झंडे में. जो बोया गया था पेड़ एजुकेशन का, ध्रुव साहब ने बोया था, जालान साहब ने भी उसमें बीजा डाला था.
शुक्ला जी, एक बात यहाँ कह दूं, मैं कहीं गायब नहीं हुआ. वो एक क्या गीत या कुछ है ना, जब जरा गर्दन झुका ली देख ली तस्वीरें यार,
क्या बात.
मुझे पाएंगे अपने दिल में.
अच्छा,
जब बुलाएंगे, मेरी परमिशन की जरूरत नहीं है. आप ये मत पूछिए कब कन्वीनियंट है मेरे को, आप लोग आदेश दीजिए कब क्या करना है, जरूर करूंगा.
क्या बात भाई, ये तो आप लोगों के लिए बहुत बड़ा आज जो है वो खुशी का
आशीर्वाद मिला है सर, हमें आशीर्वाद
बहुत बड़ा शर्मा जी, आज आपको आशीर्वाद मिला है.
यस सर.
और अब इसको आप छोड़िएगा नहीं, पकड़ के.
नॉट एट ऑल सर. आई एडमायर ऑलवेज रमेश जालान सर, बिकॉज़ मैंने बहुत इनके लेक्चर सुने. गुरुदेव हैं ये तो, आपके लेवल के हैं सर. इनको लिए क्या इंट्रोडक्शन की जरूरत है.
यंग जनरेशन को तो फायदा इनका मिलना चाहिए.
श्योर सर, डेफिनेटली.
यंग जनरेशन जालान साहब का फायदा.
जोशी जी बोलिए फटाफट.
ये प्रदीप तांबे सर आए हैं, पुणे से है, and he is very senior surveyor. Almost 30-40 years he is working at Pune. So welcome him to our platform and advise him or call him for our lectures also. He is very much expert in fire engineering.
He is already one of the faculty, sir.
Yes,
मैंने उनसे पूछ करके उनका नाम इंक्लूड किया. He is already one of the faculty.
Yes.
And I will request Joshi sir, you also be in contact with Tambe sir. And whenever he feel free, he can come and join and our daily discussion also, sir. He can give his blessings in our daily discussion also.
Ask him to speak 2 words.
Yes, please, sir.
Tamiji, please.
I will join your platform also, and whatever I have collected, I am making a notes on that and will forward to your platform. And we will make out one lecture on the particular subject.
सर, ये तांबे जी से मेरी मुलाकात तो नहीं है, टेलीफोन पे इनसे जरूर 2-3 बार मेरी बात हुई है और आज इनके दर्शन भी हो गए. तो ये भी एक हमारे गुलदस्ते का एक फूल है. इनको बिल्कुल संभाल के रखिएगा. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. कामे जी से और जालान साहब से मिलके तो लॉटरी खुल गई सब. एंड वंडरफुल.
So nice of you, sir. Now I will request Gurudev Anand Alkutkar sir to conclude this session, please.
Yes, काफी अच्छा सेशन रहा. Now I will request conclude. Thank you जी, सबको धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
Ramesh Babu sir, please take care.
Just before conclusion, one word from my side. Adding to our learned faculties and admins, this is the platform, SL Virtual Tech Group is at the doorstep and at the fingertips of participants to share the knowledge. The members are requested to utilize, they avail the services of this platform and enhance their abilities and professional skills, sir. Thank you very much. Just I am ending, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good day, sir. Good day.
Good day.